15th season of your Vancouver Island Raiders. Once again, welcome to Kamloops Broncos. At this time, please welcome to the field.
Good afternoon and welcome to BCFC TV, sponsored by the BC Lions. I'm standing here in beautiful Caledonia Park in Nanaimo, British Columbia, trying to fill the huge shoes of Dom Abassi, who's on vacation. Today's game features the Kamloops Broncos and here in the hometown Vancouver Island Raiders for the home opener. Should be an interesting game. Both teams are 0-2, and it's a thing I guess the schedule makers weren't looking at when they put the schedule together, that both these teams would be 0-2 at this point of the season. The Raiders are coming off a 39-30 loss to the Rebels last week, which for the first time since 2005 puts them 0-2 at the start of the year. And Kamloops took a 63-7 thrashing by the Langley Rams, and they're currently an 11-game winless streak. We're going to find out this afternoon where Kamloops is. They've got a young team, and they're slowly building. They've built it right down from the executive down to the team. And so games like these are going to be, they're stepping stones to improvement. And for the Raiders, it might be the game that they need to get out of the funk. The two games they played thus far, they lost in the fourth quarter. We've got a beautiful day for a game. We hope you stick around. BCFC TV, sponsored by the BC Lions. Kickoff is next. Going on. Welcome back to Caledonia Stadium. We're just getting set for the kickoff. Again, thank you for tuning in to BCFC TV, brought to you by the BC Lions. Like I said earlier, it should be an interesting game. The Kamloops is in a little bit of a funk, obviously, an 11-game losing streak, and very, very young team. They rebuilt their whole entire executive. A lot of players that played for the Kamloops Broncos are sprinkled throughout the league with the rest of the team, so they've taken the tack that you don't want to be here, then we're going to let you go and, shine somewhere else, because we're going to be rebuilding a brand new team from the, bottom up, from the foundation up. And for the Raiders, 0-2, boy, it's only happened once in their 15-year history of the franchise of being 0-2, and that was their first year when they opened the season with 2 straight losses. So this is a type of game where the mojo can be put back inside the Raiders after 2 disappointing losses, I guess you can say, that were, especially last week in West Shore, where they were leading the Rebels 30-23, I believe, at that time, and Rebels came back and scored the rest of the points to take a 39-30 win. And then with Kamloops losing to Langley, it's kind of one of those ones where, injuries play a factor. Talking to Coach Rob Ellis before the game, he said a lot of the first starters in the game last week played well in the first half, but in the second half, little nicks and dings. You put somebody on the bench, a young guy goes in, and he gets a wake-up call right away. So, but again, a learning experience. You got a young team, and that's going to happen. And I guess the other news in week 2 is that came out of last week was that the Valley Huskers are 0-2. It's kind of, I guess, a shock throughout the league a little bit. They had such a great year last year, getting out of their 30, I think it was a 31-game winless streak, to have, to finish in 3rd place. So that, it's kind of, everybody looks around and they say, okay, where are we going to be? Rebels and Okanagan play tonight. They're 2-0. One of them's going to come out, and they'll be 3-0. So it'll be an interesting game today. It should be an interesting weekend throughout the BCFC with the Valley visiting Langley tomorrow at 6:30. Again, you can catch those 2 games in Okanagan tonight at 7 o'clock on BCFC TV. And I guess, and when you go back to week 2, which is similar to week 1, is the number of penalty flags that have been throughout the league this year. It's been a lot. There's been some rule changes, I think, that probably young players as well as the officials have to get used to. And usually when there's a change to a rule, that's the emphasis. And the other ones just sort of don't go by the wayside, but you're not focusing on them as much as you are on the new rules. And so hopefully we'll be able to have a game today that doesn't feature a lot of flags, and that takes a lot of discipline from the players as well as the officials to let's just throw what's important. And, players, keep your head on a swivel and play within the rules and respect who you're playing. Now we got the Kamloops Broncos kicking off. Teeing up the ball is number 4, Landon Monk. Kamloops in their road whites with blue pants, orange trim. Nanaimo to our right in their black and red, their traditional black and red. Jared Braun, I believe, is deep, but it's hard to see the numbers on the far side. But Jared Braun on the near side deep, standing on the 10-yard line. And that's who's going to take the kickoff. Takes it on about his 15. And he works his way out to about the 32-yard line before being brought down by number 57, Darby Kwan. And Darby's pretty good at doing that. He's one of the guys that's downfield pretty quick, and he always has a lot of special teams tackles. So the Raiders are going to be scrimmaging 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line. News out of the Raiders camp today is that Jake LeBurge is not dressed, as he suffered an injury last week against the Rebels. And starting quarterback is number 5, Cole McCarvey. And he's got an empty backfield with 5 receivers to his right. And throws a screen out to Mike West. The Bulls his way for 1st down, but there's a flag on the play. Flag coming out from the head referee, Kevin McWilliam. Not sure where that is. It's close to a it would be a 1st down. It's a roughing the passer against the defense. So 15 yards tacked on to the end of that run, and the Raiders will scrimmage 1st and 10 at the Kamloops Broncos 51-yard line. That's a tough one when you get the quarterback deep like that, and the Raiders' offense is an RPO where you got the run-pass option. Somebody has to make sure that the quarterback's not going to run, so you're going to hold on a little bit and make sure and put them on the ground, but if it's a little late, you're going to get that call every time. Protect the passers is the number one priority of all football. That was number 21, Andre Goulburn, and he ran into the back of his own blocker there for no gain. That brings up 2nd and 10. Kamloops this is the 9th time they've been here in the Nanaimo, and the record is 0-8. They've been shut out 3 times, and all 8 games it was by an average loss of 57-10. So it's one of those games it's tough to dig out of a hole if you're a young team like they've got Sporting today. There's a catch by Mike West. That was for about 15 yards and a first down. Tackled by number 1. That was Caden Cook, last week's Defensive Player of the Week, which he also set a Kamloops record for the most number of defensive points in a game of 28. And the old record was, I'll just look that up here. And if I can find it real quick, Raiders 1st and 10 at about the 35-yard line of Kamloops. Here's a handoff to Goulburn. He cuts back. And he just got tripped up after a first down run by number 2, and that was Scott Pelzer, but a 10-yard run. Yeah, Caden last week he ended up with 7 tackles, a block kick, and 3 batted balls, and he was named Defensive Player of the Week, but he outdid the 24 points that was the previous record shared by Kyle Armstrong from 2008 and Grady Chalmers from 2012. So congratulations to Caden. A little bit of an injury situation where the switch coming up. I don't have that number of that player. Oh, sorry, that's Gavin Kalskar. So 1st and 10, 25-yard line. There's a long stretch handoff to Goulburn. But I think that's a legal block, not calling a holding. So 2 penalties in the game so far, each worth a total of 25 yards. I'm sure they'll take that back. It was about a 2-yard run, but move it back, take them out of field goal range to start. Hopefully you can stop them on this next drive. So you got 1st and 20. Ball will be at the 35-yard line. With the help of a penalty, the Raiders moved the ball pretty effectively so far. 11:46 left in the first quarter. Another flag down. There's a pass to Eli Nelms-Horton. I think he just kind of nonchalantly tried to catch that one and right through his hands. Just kind of took his eyes off it, but there is a flag down. See what that's all about. I saw the point to the Raiders, but I guess they're declining it. Let me see what the official says here. Offside against the Raiders. That will be declined. That brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 20. Ball again at the 35. The Kamloops made the trip down today, which is very difficult. You got to catch that ferry, so you got to be here in time. And it might not be a long trip to young guys, but to us old guys, it kills you. So I haven't talked to the coaches yet on how their bodies feel. There's a long pass over the middle to Jared Braun, incomplete. That'll bring up 3rd down. And on comes Nick Hunchuk, number 77. I'm sure he's going to try a field goal here, which would probably be around a 42-yarder. No, it looks like he's punting. And Nick's a top punter in the BCFC this year, as he was last year. And he's during his junior career. He's close to or just over 40 yards per punt, which is pretty good. There's not many guys that can average that 40 yards each time they kick the football during their junior career. Looks like number 20 is deep for the, that would be Kudamurasi Ranwa. I hope I'm saying that right. I apologize if I'm not. There's a big kick, and Kuda's going to take it just, oh, nice. He broke that tackle. He had the edge there before Mike. Again, it was Mike West that made the special teams tackle, but he got the ball out, caught it in the end zone, so they'll scrimmage 1st and 10, or I guess he didn't catch it in the end zone because they're not scrimmaging 1st and 10 at the 20. They're back, look like about their 11-yard line. So it'll be Kamloops ball, 1st and 10. Oh, they are moving to the 20. He did catch it in the end zone. Since you get it, once you get out of the end zone, after you take a punt in the end zone, and you break the plane of the goal line on the field side, you're going to get the ball at the minimum of your 20-yard line. It just encourages returns. It's one of the things back in the day everybody kept giving up a point, so they said, how can we spice it up a bit? There's a handoff from quarterback Nicholas Nika to Kudamurasi Ranwa. Again, I apologize if they gave me a phonetic roster, but I'm just trying to put it all together in my mind, and what my eyes are seeing sometimes a little bit different. So it's Kamloops picked up a yard, 2nd down and 9. Ball at their own 21. Meek is in the shotgun. Nice catch over the middle. That was hauled in by number 11, Evan Guizu. And looks like they're coming up about a yard and a half short, so that'll bring up 3rd down. I'm not sure if Coach Ellis is the gambling type this deep in his own end. He's sent on his punt team. Number 4, Landon Monk being the kick. Going deep for the Raiders is number 80, Jared Braun. Yeah, the Kamloops Broncos came into this game averaging just a 2.7 yards per rush, which is last in the BCFC. And the Raiders have given up an average of 5.7 yards per rush, which is standard around that average for the entire BCFC. That's number 7, Javon McNally Hardesty picking that ball up. But there should have been a penalty flag on that, which there is. I'm sure that'll be a 5-yard addition to the end of the run as the ball hit the ground. So that moves the ball up. Be 1st and 10 for the Raiders at the Broncos' 50-yard line. Got 8 minutes and 46 seconds left in the first quarter. And we've already had, I think it's 5 flags now, which I guess probably since we've been averaging almost 40 a game, it's going to average out about 10 this quarter maybe. So McGarvey in the shotgun. He's got Goulburn behind him. Goulburn right up the middle on the RPO. He's got a hole. There's a nice tackle by number 1, Caden Cook. Put him on the ground, not after about a 35-yard run, which will put the ball down and looks like about the 15-yard line and a 1st down. Yeah, so I think once you get off that bus from taking that long trip from Kamloops, it takes a while to shake the legs out. Mind you, did have an hour and a half ferry trip, which you allowed, you get a chance to stretch your legs a bit and get tape possibly. Maybe that's an area. I know when I coached in Victoria and we take those trips across, we would always tape on the boat. The 1st and 10. Another Goulburn again up the middle. He's tackled by number 91. That was Hayden Taylor. Looks like maybe a pickup of a couple yards there. Yeah, about long 2, so bring up a 2nd and 8. Ball at about the 12-yard line, looks like. You don't see many quarterbacks up under the center anymore in this game, and when they are, normally they're just taking a quarterback sneak. And McGarvey on throwing it outside to Mike West. Mike breaks the tackle of Cook and in for the touchdown. So McGarvey connects with Mike West for about a 12-yard scoring pass. Yeah, Mike just swung around. He caught that one on the hook and just used his size and strength to pull himself into the end zone. At the 7-minute mark of the first quarter. And Nick Hunchak in for the convert attempt. Snap is down, kick is up, and it is good. And that makes the score Vancouver Island Raiders 7 and the Kamloops Broncos nothing. So Hunchak will be kicking off on the kickoff. And deep, and they get number 88. And you got Kudamu Rasirana, number 20, and number 88, Ian Finstad. Yeah, Kamloops they've been around since 2001 was their first year, and they played through to 2003. And then they took a leave of absence from the league as a non-playing member and came back in 2007. And the first 3 years they were called the Cowboys, and they came back as the Broncos. Great football town up at Kamloops. They'll put it together. Hunchak on the kickoff. And it's deep to Kuda at the 10. He's found himself a hole. There he goes. Just one man to beat. That's the kicker. Oh, and he's nice return. Tackled by number 9. That was number 9. Sorry, number 3, Eli Nelms-Horton made that tackle. I don't see any flags. Injured down. Kuda looks like he's still down a little bit. Probably get the land on the ball sometimes. When you have a long run, you get tackled from behind. You go down belly first, right onto the football. Hopefully it's nothing more serious than that. Just catch your wind. Great return. So he brought it back to the 20, no, I guess it would be the 35-yard line. 65-yard return. Good on him. Yeah, he's coming off under his own steam, and I think he got a little bit of a limp to his run, but he'll be back. He's a player. So Kamloops 1st and 10 at the Raiders' 35-yard line. Oh, just what I said earlier. You don't see many quarterbacks under center, and Nicholas Nika, that's what he's doing. He's coming up under center. There's a quick pitch to the outside. It's to number 21, Ferdinand Somda, for a little gain. About 2-yard gain, 3-yard gain maybe. Yeah, the Raiders' defense was in there pretty darn quick. They floated that ball. That brings up 2nd and 8. So right away, Kamloops made me eat some crow for that under center remark. And here, Nika coming up, calling the plays. Empty backfield. And he's running, and he was brought down by number 70. Or is that 79, Doyle Westland? Sorry, they got the jerseys are kind of, they're just shortened up a little bit so that the bottom of the numbers cut off, so you don't know if it's an 8 or a 6 or a 9. Very difficult to see. Anyhow, looks like they're going to gamble here. Nika got tackled for a loss or sacked for a loss of about 3, so they're going to gamble at 3rd and just a little over 10, just outside the Raiders' 35. 5:07 clock running here in the first quarter. Again, thank you for tuning in to BCFC TV, brought to you by the BC Lions. Great junior action. Oh, right through the hands. That slipped right through the hands of Ivan Guizo. And it's a turnover on downs. The Raiders will take possession just outside the 35-yard line. A little bit of a lost opportunity for points there, but I understand what Coach Ellis is trying to achieve. He's, get the first down and a little bit of confidence, show the guys that, hey, we can do this. They're a very, very young team. Mind you, so are the Raiders. All the teams are young. That's the one thing about junior football is there's an expiry date to it, and a lot of players will move on early, for college or just jobs. Sometimes an opportunity arises, and they say, I'm got to leave because I got to get a job. And so the turnover is pretty great. If the goal is to try to keep as many of the young guys. I'm not sure where this penalty is here. Too many men in the huddle. That's a new rule that was put in last year. If you have too many men in the huddle to begin with, you're going to get flagged, regardless if he leaves and he gets out of in time. If they're in the huddle, you get flagged 10 yards for too many men. But one of the challenges for junior is that there's a lot of the teams they have to re-recruit guys. Colleges are after them. Other junior teams, even though you're not allowed to because there's a go-home rule, where that player lives in other provinces, he can go home and play for that team where his home team is. So you're constantly recruiting new guys along with your own guys. So it's an interesting level of football. That was a run by Goulburn, a nice tackle up front by Darby Kwan, number 57. So that brings up 2nd and 20. Yeah, a little bit slow. We had the kickoff return there that Kuda brought back, which was tremendous. But other than the penalty flags and just a little bit of, feeling each other out, it's starting to become a really warm day as well. It's kind of muggy. So I think the players are starting to start to feel that. We know by the 4th quarter they'll be feeling that. Garvey back to pass. Little pass to Jared Braun for about a 4-yard gain. That's going to bring up 3rd down, about 15. It was number 6, Jacob Gilman on coverage there. So Nick Hunchak in and Kuda back in after his rest after injuring himself in the kickoff return. He's deep for the Broncos. 3:21 to go here in the first quarter. This is an opportunity for Kamloops to get back into field position too after the turnover and downs. You get a good return out of this, you might be able to come away with points this time with the ball. It's a nice spiraling kick by Hunchak. Taken at the 40-yard line by Kuda. Raiders are there. They just swarm to him. Number 81, Mike West, making the tackle. So was number 20 was there. That was Tyler Hill. He's always around the mix. So Kamloops is going to scrimmage 1st and 10 at their own 45. Just around 3 minutes to go, first quarter. Neek in the shotgun. 2 receivers to his left, 2 receivers to his right. Raiders in their traditional college 4-3. Stand off to number 20. It's Kuda. Turn the corner. That's a very nice run. Picked up about 6 yards, a little bit, maybe 7 somewhere in there. Didn't see who made the tackle, but probably was number 29, I think. in the Raiders interception list, all-time interception list, and the leader is their defensive coordinator, Cameron Mayer, who had 21 during his playing career from 2005 to 2007. So good on Jeremy. He's been very steady. That was a low snap, unfortunately, and Nika had to jump. On that. So that was a loss of about 4 yards, 5 yards. That's going to bring up. So Monk waiting for the snap. A little high, but he was able to get it down. So that moves the ball up. Raiders going to have 1st and 10 at their own 46-yard line. A minute 30 to go here in the first quarter. Still a 7-0 score for the Raiders. McGarvey still in the quarterback. Goulburn behind him. To the right. He's looking to his left. I think we got an offside, which makes a great catch. Hayden Cook. But I think there's got an offside penalty against Kamloops. So that's going to be a completed pass. Great pass on that one. He looked to his left and came back to the right. That draws a safety. And you can see on the replay, I'm having a tough time with the sun to see the replay. But Eli went up. You know, they take a little bit of pride, you know, with Caden Cook, number 1 from. But we still have one played, and it's 2nd and 5. Same formation as last time. 2 receivers to his right, Goulburn in behind him. 3 receivers to his left. Garvey calling the signals. There's Jared Braun on the reverse coming around. And a good play at number 2. That was Scott Pelzer, sorry. Stand his ground, limit the gain. I don't think he got a first down. He's close, but it's going to bring up. I'm pretty sure it's going to bring up 3rd down. And that's the end of the quarter. Teams will switch ends. I am not sure Coach Visa is going to go for this. They say it's about 3rd and 4. So they only picked up maybe a yard and a half. But at the end of the first quarter, we got a 7-0 score for the Raiders. Again, thank you for tuning in to BCFC TV, brought to you by the BC Lions. Yeah, it looks like they're leaving the offense in. No, they're bringing the field goal team in. I can see Hunchuk coming out with the tee in his hand, number 77. Yeah, it's warm. Some of the officials now are starting to wipe their brow pretty good because it's getting warm. No, looks like a change of mind by Coach Visa. We're just saying we're going to go for this. Maybe once he found out exactly how far they have to go, which looks like is about 2 yards, long 2. But I'm pounding Goulburn for sure. Or Goulburn. Yeah, it's sometimes you want to work on things too. This is a game that I think like I said earlier, the Raiders are looking to sort of iron out some of the little things that you get a chance to do when you're playing a team that's rebuilding. They're going to give you 100%, but you're just a little bit stronger in some areas. So something like this will give you a chance, we can kick a field goal. But, obviously this is a home opener. You want to win. There's not a bad crowd. Looks like there's about maybe 400, 500 people here for a warm afternoon in Nanaimo. What a beautiful city this is on the harbor. That's why they call it the Harbor City. It's just gorgeous. But we're waiting for, I guess it's the officials to get a drink. McGarvey's in the shotgun. He's got Goulburn in behind him. Waiting for the whistle to blow, and the second quarter starts. Goulburn on the run, and they give him the touchdown. It's a good little, about a 7-yard run. That makes his score 14-45 of the second quarter. Raiders 13, Broncos nothing with the convert to come. So they got a passing touchdown as well as a rushing touchdown now. Nick Hunchak in to try the convert. Team's ready, whistled in. Good snap, hold, kick is good. And that makes the score 14-0 for the Raiders at 14:45 in the second quarter. Hey, how about former Raider running back Andrew Harris, what he did on Thursday night against the BC Lions, becoming the all-time leader in yards from scrimmage. That's tremendous, just tremendous. I made some notes here because I really feel that that's one of those things that we've got to talk about. We definitely have to talk about it because Andrew's done so much for junior football. He was a 5-year guy playing here with the Raiders. He was involved in 3 Canadian championships that they won in the 2000s. And just a good ambassador for junior ball, because when he's a starter and doing his good things and playing and putting all the yards up as he's been doing, when you look at the rosters or you look at online at his profile, it doesn't say a college, it says VI Raiders, and that's all about junior football. But now he's got 13,377 career yards, and that's just tremendous. Beat Ben Cahoon, who had 13,368. So next on his list is obviously the rushing title. He's just at 8,400 now, and he's got about another 8,400 to go before he gets at Mike Pringle. That kickoff was taken by number 88, Maurice Onimenu, and just tackled by a good host of Raiders. But again, another flag down. Not sure what that is. Looked like he got out Tony Mayhew got out to the 22-yard line, looks like. We're talking to the Raiders, so it might be a legal block. See what head referee Kevin McWilliam has to say. Rough play. That's a 15-yarder against... Oh, sorry, it was against Kamloops. Against the Raiders. So that moves the ball up 15 yards, so they'll be scrimmaging close to the 40, just over the 40. The 30, looks like the 37. 1st and 10. But when Andrew was here, he left the BCFC as the all-time leading scorer with 506 points, all-time touchdown leader with 84, the most rushing touchdowns, 54, and he averaged in his career 9.9 yards a carry. There's a handoff to number 3. That's Matt White. Oh, nice tackle on the edge by number 23. That's Blake Johnson, but not after a gain of about 7. But Andrew, he averaged 9.9 yards a carry, and he ended up rushing 4,165 yards, which is second to his former teammate Jaden Smith, who ran for 54.95. But the first couple of years, Andrew was a receiver, and they kept him in the backfield. He probably would have rushed for over 10,000 yards. Now 2nd and 2, short 2 coming up for the Broncos. Nika under center. There's a handoff to number 21. I think he got the first down on that. That's Ferdinand Sumda. Yeah, I think they'll give it to him. Right along the line here. He just got it, so we got a first down. 13 minutes and 30 seconds clock running here, second quarter. Raiders up 14-0. First and 10, Nick in the shotgun. He's got 2 receivers to his left, full backfield with the 2 running backs, 2 receivers to his right. Got some protection. Throws that out to number 3. There's Matt White, and 2 penalty flags down. Not sure what that was. But when 2 comes flying in, you know that eyeballs are all over that play. I'm not sure if that was pass interference, because it looked like to me, unless it was illegal contact on a receiver. Let's see what we got here. Legal block on the offense. Okay. So a legal block came definitely away from the play, but that'll come back 10 yards from the spot of the catch to of the tackle, and be first down for the Kamloops since yards were gained. It's kind of a little bit of a lethargic game right now. I'm not sure if obviously they're not testing each other out, but could be just different type of heat when you get down here at Caledonia Park, because it is kind of in a bowl and it gets quite warm. And maybe that's what the players are starting to feel right now. So balance set for Nika. He hands off to Kuda. Oh, nice run. He had a great run there. Spun off the first tackle before being tackled by number 10. That's, Matt Hill. But he made the first player miss and then spun off in a potential tackle. Pickup of I'll give him 9. I don't know if the official stats person will do that, but that brings up about a 1-yard try here on second down. Ball's at the 47-yard line of the Raiders. Kamloops has moved the ball not too bad. It's just that they've had a couple penalties that have hurt them. And that was a pass that could have been caught, a little bit throw. Nika had it a little bit low, and I think it might have been just outside of Kuda's arm reach to make the catch that way. He also had, I think it was the number 20 Tyler Hill on him pretty well the whole way. They're doing a lot of John right now. The 220s are kind of getting after each other. But that's junior ball. That's another aspect of junior football. There's a lot of yapping. Mind you, there's a lot of yapping in all of football. It's a very emotional game, and the key to any player is to keep those emotions in check to where you don't cross a line. You don't want to be flagged and take something selfish that's going to hurt your team. So Landon Monk in the punt, Jared Braun deep. Landon will be punting from the Raiders' 48-yard line. Good kick here, pin the Raiders nice and deep and force them to drive a long way if they want to score. High kick, short kick. Jared down underneath it. That should be no yards. Yeah, he caught that ball as the Broncos were swarming down, and they didn't give him any chance to get outside of it. Let's see, pick up 15, courtesy of a 15-yard no yards penalty since the ball was caught in the air. So that'll probably move the ball up to about the 35-yard line. Raiders will start there with 1st and 10. Yeah, they're not. Yeah, I thought it might have been against the Raiders the way the officials were standing there, but now they're just a little bit waiting for the final signal to mark up the yards. Yeah, so a little bit, 38-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Raiders. Break the huddle. Eli Nelms-Horton here, lower the part of the screen. He's got Caden Cook on him. Mike West, top of the screen. Goulburn in behind McGarvey. Ball's tipped up in the air. That's intercepted by number 30. Gets a good run out of that's number 30, Josiah Griffith, with an interception. Got some flags on the field. I'm not sure what that would be. Bat a ball. That's what you do when you're defensive lineman. If the quarter you can't get to him, get your hands up, make him throw over top of you. And a lot of times, as you leave your feet, or you get a hand on the ball, but you make him adjust his sight and move his feet. That's the whole key. Yeah, I guess the interception stands. Unless there was something after the play, I'm not absolutely sure. Referees are discussing it. I'm hoping to get a good, clear signal from the head referee. Illegal block by Kamloops. So it was a legal block, 10-yard penalty. Unnecessary roughness against the Raiders. That moves the ball up 5 yards from where the Griffiths was tackled. And is going to give the Broncos 1st and 10 just inside the Nanaimo or the Raiders' 30-yard line. At 11:22, clock running, left in the second quarter. Again, we've seen a lot of laundry on the field, and hoping we weren't going to get that today as much. Again, it's on the players. Officials are throwing only what they see. That was Kuda on a handoff sweep to the right. Didn't pick much up. That was maybe a gain of 2. That was number 20, Tyler Hill, on the tackle. Yeah, maybe 2. A little less than 2 yards. Bring up 2nd and 8, long 8. Yeah, the sun's starting to come out now pretty good, and it's getting really warm from where I'm standing. I know I'm going to go home with a sunburn today. The Raiders spotting crew took our tent, so there's a swing pass to Kuda right there, but McNally Hardesty was right on top of him if Kuda made the catch on that one. And we have a flag down again. So I understand the official that threw that flag is an American, and a female that officiates NCAA football in the States, and she's up here on vacation, and I guess because of I'm going to have a 15-yard penalty for hands to the face, but she threw that flag. But she's up here, I guess, on vacation, and they, I guess, coordinated it before she got here that do a junior football game or two. Just like we have the CFL interchanges with NFL officials, and this year former BCFC official Dave Hawkshaw is now full-time NFL. What a great opportunity. And just, he's a good official too, but he's an even better guy. Sweetheart, that guy. Let's go now, baby, don't break. So that was a hands to the face penalty, 15 yards. That's going to move the ball to around looks like about the 16-yard line of the Raiders. And Kamloops in scoring range here, 1st and 10. I formation. Quick handoff to the fullback. That's number 38, Connor Brown. Yeah, just bowled his way through. Looked like for about a 5-yard gain. He was tackled by number 20. That's we're gonna get these. Remember this stuff. Tyler Hill. Tyler's always around the ball. He's a piranha out there. He smells blood, and he's always the first guy around the ball. So you got about a second to 5. Yeah, good 2nd and 5. We got a penalty here. Not sure what that is. Came from the umpire. Unless somebody's yapping, or that's kind of strange because they weren't in a stance yet to be able to be called an illegal procedure. Objectionable conduct. It was against. And it was against number 10, Matt Hill. Must have said something that the umpire heard. And those are the penalties that you kind of look at and you go, why? You know, he's going to get to the sideline, and obviously Karam's going to talk to him, Karam Mayer, the defensive coordinator. So that'll give them a 1st down. That's a 10-yard penalty, so it's half the distance, but automatic 1st down. So it looks like it's going to be 1st and goal at about the 6-yard line, maybe, just outside the 5. Again, it's hard to see the lines at this park when the sun's out like this. So they got 1st and 10, balls. 1st and goal, sorry. After that penalty. Meek in the shotgun, balance set, 2 receivers to his left, 2 receivers to his right, and now we have another delay. 9 minutes and 50 seconds to go here in the 2nd quarter. Not sure what they're talking about there, but I know if I was a coach, I'd be instructing my captain to just hang around and stick your ear in and see what you can find out. So that's good. I'm not sure what they're talking about there. I guess it could be something to do with, maybe didn't explain that if the other penalty, the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, if he gets another one, he's ejected from the game. Maybe they'd fail to warn him of that. I'm not sure. Anyhow, but we have a 1st down, 1st and goal. Make it back to pass. At the corner. Oh, just threw the ball over the head of number 11, Evan Guizo. So that's going to bring up 2nd and goal. He was open. He just threw it over his head. He couldn't get it to him. A little bit too much air under it. It's a good chance here for Kamloops to make something happen. Get on the scoreboard before halftime. You've been in control of the ball here for quite a while. This time Nika's under the center. They go into the eyes. Got 3 receivers to his right. Single receiver to his left. Comes back. He fakes. Throws it over the middle. On the ball is picked off by number 7, Javon McNally Hardesty. However, there is a penalty down in the end zone. And number 11, Evan Guizu made the tackle on that one, but there is a flag down. That could be illegal contact on a receiver coming from the deep judge. I guess that's what the official term. Yeah, it was again. So that's going to put the ball on the 1-yard line with a 1st down. I didn't hear who that penalty was against. It was against number 23, sound like Blake Johnson. Legal contact on a receiver. So 1st and goal at the 1-yard line for the Broncos. This is where, from an offensive side, you're saying, let's do something good here. Let's push it in. And defensive side saying, we ain't let that happen. So Meekin shotgun. He's balanced set. 2 receivers to his right, 2 receivers to his left, and he's got the full backfield. Snap down, throwing the ball. A little pick play there. or I guess they call it rubs when you don't no flag on the play. That was intended for number 84, Garrett Krynowski. Incomplete. Yeah, on the play there, the outside receiver, Matt White, I think it was Matt, just looped inside to try to just block the defender, and then Krynowski just cut off that block, and it should be wide open, but the pass wasn't there in time. Okay. Krynowski, there's a handoff to number, it's a fake, so you've got Nika on the quarterback keeper, and there's a touchdown. They're saying he got in, but there is a flag down. Not sure the penalty could be offside defense. Normally when you're down the goal line, everybody wants to get as close as they can to the football when they line up. Oh, we got unnecessary roughness. Unnecessary roughness against the Raiders. A touchdown will stand. And that 15 yards will be added to the kickoff. So that makes the score 14-6 with the convert to come. Yeah, waiting for Landon Monk get them set there. He's going to be trying the conversion here. Kick is up, kick is good. So that makes the score 14-7 for the Raiders with 8:42 to go here in the second quarter. Well, good on Kamloops. They put the drive together, capitalizing on what they needed to do. Well, obviously, the Raiders helped them with a couple penalties that, like I said earlier, I think the coaches will be talking to those players about. It's one of those things. Again, emotion is a big part of the game. It's just making sure that you keep it to yourself. I was saying earlier that this park isn't, with Kamloops being over up here, and they took a 97-0 loss. I forget what year it was. I think maybe 2012, something like that. And I can remember the Bronco executive at the time weren't very happy. But imagine this place isn't friendly to many. Their record here is 58 wins, 10 losses, I think it is, and 3 ties. So not many teams roll into this park and come away with a win. But when you do, it's something special because they have that persona here that this is their place and nobody's going to do anything in their place. Now Monk kicking off from the Raiders 50, punches it down. That was taken by, I believe that's Marin Braybrook. If I got his number right. And bring the ball out to about the 15-yard line, it looks like. No, it wasn't Marin Bradbrook. He's number 4. I'm not sure who returned that. I couldn't see the number clearly. I apologize. But talking about Marin, he set a Raiders record last week with, I think it was 8 kickoff returns, which broke the old record of 5 that Tristan Muir set. I think it was in 2015. So congratulations to him. So far, we got a few record breakers this year kicking off. We're only in week 3. But I guess when you look at it, you don't want to have a whole bunch of kickoff returns. That means that the other team's doing a lot of scoring on you, too. McGarvey back to pass. Throw, I don't know. Well, anyhow, they threw it. That was intended for Jared Braun. Long pass down the middle, and him and Caden Cook sort of got tied up together. I'm not sure if Caden veered his way through and knock him off his route. So they could call it legal contact, but they'll probably call it interference. So that's 15 yards from the line of scrimmage. That'll move the ball up to about the 30-yard line. Raiders 1st and 10. Get 8 minutes, 7 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Again, thank you for tuning in to BCFC TV, sponsored by the BC Lions. I think we got a little bit better game than a lot people anticipated, you know, with the records of both teams coming in and the history of both over the last couple of years. But it's still a long game. There's McGarvey on the RPO, and he gets tackled right away. It's by number 17, Ab Finbo. Which is a good tackle, limited the gain to about 2 yards. Bring up 2nd and 8. McGarvey in the shotgun, Goulburn in behind him. 3 receivers to his right, 2 to his left. He's looking outside to Mike West. Mike makes the tackle, breaks a couple of tackles before finally being pulled down by number 57, Darby Kwan. Not after a big gain, taking up almost the center field. Looks like at about the 54, 53-yard line of the Raiders. And a first down. 7 minutes to go here in the second quarter, clock running. Yeah, sometimes games, you get into games and it's warm, you know, and then you look at the matchup and a lot of people, you know, kind of, I don't say roll their eyes, but you figure, okay, yeah, okay, we're good on this, it's okay. But your focus isn't there. You know, your coaches maybe think the same way and they're not in your face to, you know, to smarten up and focus up. But once you step on the field, you know, you got to strap it on, and these kids do. Albeit they will sometimes just allow their emotions to get in the way. That was about a 3-yard run by Goulburn. Tackled by big number 94, Mixon Madland. Pick up about 3 yards, bring up 2nd and 7. 6:10 to go here in the second quarter. So we got McGarvey coming up. 3 receivers to his right, Goulburn behind him, to his left. Passing situation, it's a deep out to Mike West. He'll come back, but a little bit overthrown. As we bring up a 3rd down and 7. And looks like the punting team's getting in. Still got a score of 14-7. 5:40 to go, second quarter. Now it's an opportunity here for the Raiders to pin them deep. You get a good punt away, you get to pin them deep. You make them try to drive the entire field. You know, along the way, you get an opportunity to get the ball back and get good scoring position. So got Hunchuk on the punting, Kuda deep. High snap. That happened last week in Nanaimo. They gave up a safety because of high snap, and another high snap. Hunchuk had to run, but he completed the pass. And the same thing today, another high snap. And I thought he had time to kick, but I'm not standing down there. So he takes off to his left, and it's difficult if you're not a passer to run to your left and your right-handed to try to throw an accurate pass. So it's a turnover and downs, and Kamloops takes possession on their side of midfield at looks like about the 53-yard line, just outside the 53. Not sure what the officials are talking about here. There's no flags in the field. Having a bit of a water break. I don't blame them, because it is warm. Everybody's got to try to find whatever little shade there is. It's not as warm as the interior, obviously, but it's probably 30 degrees here right now. I think the referees are almost ready to go. They're getting their last little bit of water. So got 5:27 to go in the second quarter, and after the turnover and downs, Kamloops is scrimmaging 1st and 10 at their own 54-yard line. Okay, I think we're ready to go. Here we go. White in motion. And off to Kuda, a nice little hole. Nice tackle coming back on that one. That was by number 20. That was, again, Tyler Hill. Again, that kid's around the ball all the time. So he made a nice tackle, limited the gain to about 4. It was a nice run. I thought the O-line on the right side, they opened the hole, and he had the hole to go through. Just linebackers flow like they're supposed to. Limit the gain the best they can. Here, 2nd and 6. Shotgun formation from Nika. Balance set. 2 receivers right, 2 receivers left, and 2 in the backfield. Passing situation, a swing pass to Kuda. He's tried that once or twice, and this time he's connected. A nice big gain going down the sideline. Finally forced out of bounds by number 36, Parker Hammond. And Jeremy Chang was hovering around there. You know, he's going to be around the ball. He's a ball hawk. That's a first down run. That was about a 16-yard gallop. Nice run. First down, just outside the 30. It looks like about the 32-yard line for Kamloops. 4:33 to go in the second quarter. Clock running. 14-7. Raiders. Under center, Nika. Flag down. There's a reverse going around to number 11. That's Evan Guizu. All right, we have 2 flags down. Got a flag at the line of scrimmage. Somebody probably offside. Plus we got looks like some sort of penalty, either unnecessary roughness. Not sure on who. Be against either guy. Testosterone flows a lot sometimes, quickly. The referees in their traditional post-penalty huddle. Try to sort out, since there's 2 penalties, you got to make sure you get it right. But it was a first down run if it stands. And I think the other penalty was post-play penalty. So they'd probably be offsetting if it was against both. The way Kamloops was talking, it looks like it's against the Raiders, the first penalty. So it was offside Raiders and an unnecessary roughness against the number 58, Tristan Waters from the Raiders. So obviously you're going to decline the offside penalty and take the big one, because that comes after the run. So that's going to put the ball inside, I think, at the 1-yard line. 1st and 10 for Kamloops. They got an opportunity here to tie the score with 4 minutes and 9 seconds to go in the second quarter. Yeah, sometimes you get a little bit frustrated, and you think you should be doing a little bit better than you are, and you do something a little silly. But that's youth. Youth can learn from this stuff. There's another flag down. That could be offside against another one against the Raiders. Again, when you're on the goal line defense, you're trying to get as close as you can. And sometimes you get a hand just inside the yard mark, and they're always going to throw a penalty because it's set there. We're talking, like, what do we got? I'm not sure. I don't think anybody signaled touchdown. Yeah, Nika just on a quarterback sneak. He was trying to get a little bit of a push help by number 38, Connor Brown. But I'm not sure what's going on there. Number 90 coming in. They're putting some, probably their elephant package. Number 72, Lane Friday, comes out. Troy Mello goes in. And we got a timeout call now. And that's by Kamloops. Yeah, good call, Coach Ellis. Good time to call a timeout. Your position is to tie this game with 3 minutes and 55 seconds to go in the second quarter. So make sure you do it right. You do have fresh set of downs, however. Your 1st and goal. So those are one of those things that you got to call the right play, get yourself in the end zone, kick off, and then hope your defense rises to the challenge. And the challenge for the Raiders is to let's calm down a little bit, get a little frustrated, and let's move the ball, run the clock, and make sure you score the last time you touch the ball before the half. Coming in there is Cody Harper for the Raiders.
Nobody came out. Parker! 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 Let's go, team! Parker! Get off! Parker!
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of confusion. There was one guy came in, but the player he swapped with came out earlier. So we got first and goal, whistled in, a bit of motion, Nika under center. He dropped the football, flags down. Too many men on the field, I think, for the Raiders. So I'll give Kamloops a fresh set of downs. Inside at the 1, first and goal. Yeah, so again, the officials are trying to sort it out. There were 3 penalty flags came in. Can't see what the hand signals are. Yeah, there was too many men on the field for the Raiders, plus an offside penalty. At this point, ball can't move any closer than it is. But you do take the penalty that gives you the most yards. If they had scored on that, they could have taken that penalty on the kickoff. And unfortunately, Nika had the ball drop out of his hands, and he had to drop down to get it. Just needed to get a clear center quarterback snap. Yeah, start all over again. It's like same play. And I think this one he's in the end zone. Yeah, no signal yet. They're looking for the ball. Touchdown. It gives the Kamloops. It's the first time they scored over 7 points in the game this year. Now they're up to 14. There's a quarterback sneak by Nicholas Nika. With a cover to come, and Lunk. That's Nick's second touchdown today. Good snap, ball down, Convert good. That makes the score. With 3:42 to go here in the second quarter. Raiders 14, Kamloops Broncos 14. Yeah, I think sometimes when you get down a little bit, you're kind of looking at maybe trying to make things happen in a hurry, but Raiders have run the ball quite well today, so if they get away from that, it might just play into the hands of Kamloops a little bit. Broncos, from the throwing side, they give up 18.6 yards on the average over these 2 games, throwing the football. So Jared Braun and Marin Braybrook are deep for the Raiders on this kickoff, coming from Landon Monk, number 4 for Kamloops. Ball's at center field. They did take the penalty of the too many men, so that counts to move the ball up. Kicking off in the 5th yard, a little kick to Jared Braun. Takes it about his 5. Cuts to his right, back in the center. Oh, might have a legal block there. But Kamloops are all over him like locusts on a wheat field. Wow, they got down there quick. Probably a legal block, I would think, coming from behind the play. They're able to see that much better. Unnecessary roughness. Oh, face mask. Okay. So he had good coverage, and unfortunately somebody got their hand in the mask. That moves it up 15 yards. So Raiders look like they're starting at about their 29-yard line, 1st and 10, with 3:35 here to go in the second quarter. That kind of was surprising, 14-all tie at this point in the game. But again, I think nobody really knew coming in, the potential of both these teams and how they're going to react to a game like this. Kamloops coming off a long bus trip, and the Raiders, it's a home opener. Obviously nerves are going to play a little bit of factor in it. There's a handoff to Goulburn. Another good run. Being Good tackle. That was from number 30, Josiah Griffiths. But not after a gain of about 15 yards. Nice run on that one. I've had good success. Goulburn's had the ball on the ground a lot today, and he's probably close to 100 yards rushing at this point, I would think. I haven't seen any stats yet. Now that's where the Raiders have had their most success. They've been on the ground. First and 10. Just out the 44-yard line. Yeah, looks like another first down, 11-yard run for Goulburn as we get to the 3-minute warning. Again, the right side of the line, that's where they're attacking most of the plays. It's the right side of the line. And the Raiders O-line are getting good push. Talking to Coach Visa at the beginning of the game, number 55, Nick Chesford, played high school ball in Parksville. He's new to the team this week, and he called him a specimen. He said, this kid's a specimen, and they got him at right tackle. So that's who they're following. They're opening big holes outside of the line. So at the 3-minute warning, scores 14 all here in Caledonia Park. Sun's really working hard to come out, get that low cloud, but it's warm, really warm. Not a bad crowd, for a home opener. I think we're ready to go here. There's a passing situation. Darby Kwan makes a sack on McGarvey. I'm not sure. He could have thrown the ball, I thought. From my vantage point, he had number 3, Eli Nelms-Horton. Caden Cook gave him quite a cushion. If he threw that ball there, he might have been able to pick up a first down. But Kwan made a nice play, stayed with it, put the rush on, got a good push, and be able to get the sack. Raiders have called a timeout. With 2:14 to go here before halftime. Yeah, so far we've had a few penalties, which is unfortunate. I'm not sure on the yardage. But also, I guess I should mention that preseason CJFL, Jeremy Chang, Eli Nelms-Horton, Javon McNally Hardesty, Jake LeBurge, and Mike West all made the CJFL's preseason top 50 returning players. And yeah, that's pretty cool. Last week in West Shore, there were 10 players. These 5 guys plus 5 from the Rebels, so that was pretty good. BCFC gets good recognition in the CJFL. And Javon is McNally Hardesty is a CJFL Canadian from last season, a defensive back. The way he's playing again this year, you probably see his name on that little award again. So we bring up here a second down, just over 10. Ball at the Broncos 54-yard line. Garvey empty backfield. He's got 5 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. He's in the shotgun. Trying that screen again to Mike West. And definitely Mike took his eyes off that one. You see his head turn a little bit to the left just as the ball entered his hands, trying to find that hole to go to. He had the blockers there, but just didn't complete the way it was called and the way you practiced it. So that's going to break up a punting situation. 2:09 to go until half. Hunt truck back. Kudumurasi Ranwa back to deep for the Kamloops. Have his heels probably sitting about the 10-yard line. Better snap than last time. A low driving, spiraling punt that's driving Kuda back to his 10. Yeah, he's pushed out of bounds by number 3, Eli Nelms-Horton. Brought the ball out to about the 25-yard line. So Kamloops will scrimmage there, 1st and 10 with 1:57 till half. Well, this for Kamloops they have one more timeout left, an opportunity to drive the ball positive yards and maybe come away with some points before halftime. Hold on to it, or at least you don't want to give it back to the Raiders, so you can use up this 1:57 positively either way. So 1st and 10. Balance set by Broncos. It's a handoff to Kuda, cuts back to his right. And again, runs into a whole bunch of black guys in red trim. And that was led by number, I think it was 98. Boy, again, yeah, Ethan Hong. Hard to see those numbers when they had the jerseys are up like that. That was a pickup of 3. Not a bad run. Keeps the clock running. It's 1:47 and rolling right here. Again, 3 receivers to his right. It's a definite passing situation. He's got Kuda again on the swing. Oh, he just out of his reach. He connected once on it, which was a great play, and the other few times they tried it, it's just out of his reach. So that's going to bring up a 3rd down, 1:37 to go. Raiders should get fairly decent field position out of this. Maybe their opportunity to just put a few more points on the board before they hit the change room. Landon Monk back to punt for the Broncos. Jared Braun, always ready. Jared Braun ready to return for the Raiders. That's a good snap. They're coming after him there. Jared catches the ball at 55-yard line. Makes one guy miss. That was a little bit unnecessary from number 2, Scott Pelzer. But they're already out of bounds, so that's going to move the ball up 15 yards. But Jared got on his horse, and he made Kobe Sharon miss. And then when he got to the edge, Pelzer just with a little bit too much extra aggression as he rolled him out of bounds. He could have just ran him out of bounds. So that'll move the ball up 15 yards. We're probably looking at around the 25-yard line. And that'll give the Raiders great position to add some points to their 14. Minute 25 to go here in the 2nd quarter. Yeah, puts the ball at the Broncos' 28-yard line. 1st and 10. McGarvey in the shotgun. Goulburn in behind him. He's got 4 receivers to his left, and he's got Eli Nelms-Horton here, one-on-one with Caden Cook. There's a handoff to Goulburn. Got a hold. That could be something that's going to bring that back on a holding. And again, Darby Kwan in on the tackle, but it was number 94, Mixon Madland, that got his hands on him. Slowed him down, got his ankle. But not before he picked up about a good 5-yard run, but I think this is a hold going to come back. Ooh, they're calling it unnecessary roughness to 15 yards. So minute 20, that'll give them 1st and 25. The ball will be at Broncos' 39-yard line. So it must have been a post. So it's not quite 25. It must have been a post-play penalty. So they get about second. That is a post-play penalty because it's 2nd down. So it's a 2nd down and maybe about 21. Ball on the 39. Same formation. McGarvey running out of time, just dumps it off. I think that might have been incomplete. They call that incomplete. That was a pass to number 18, Alexander Bunaplam. So that brings up 3rd down. Hunchuk in again to try not trying a field goal, I don't believe. It's maybe a bit out of his range, but they're going to be punting. Again, I think the goal obviously is not for a single. It's to pin them as deep as they can, and then you hope you can stop them before time runs out, get the ball back in great field position, and then try the field goal. So Scott Pelzer's back, and he's standing in his own end zone for Hunchuk's kick. Off the side of his foot a bit. It bounces. They're going to give up the single on this, which is wise, and there's penalty flag down as well as an unnecessary roughness. That was against number 20, Tyler Hill, on the receiver, Pelzer. Yeah, we got a little bit of emotion just clicking here. I don't think anybody expected a 14-all score with a minute to go in the half, and we get another one, somebody for yapping. Definitely for yapping. So we got three penalties on this play. I'm not sure what the first one was, but an illegal block. And then you definitely got probably an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. And the deep one when Pelzer got hit out of bounds there by Hill, I think that's definitely going to be unnecessary roughness. So at the end of the day, it'll probably shake down to where there'll be no point, or they might take the point, give the Raiders the point, take the ball to 35 and move it up from there. Maybe give them an opportunity to add to their 14 points before halftime. And we got yeah, it's one of the things the teams are doing now, and the BCFC is they're trying to get the coaches off the field, trying to make sure that you stay within your bench area, which is from the 45 to the 25, and you stay off the field, or you're going to get a penalty. There's been a lot of it over the first 2 weeks, and I think everybody's kind of saying, enough's enough. But again, we don't want to add a whole bunch of different penalties to the game. It's just you also got to respect what's going on the field. Long discussion here. I'm not sure. This is one of the things that get a lot of the coaches upset is the discussion on the post penalties, on how long it takes the officials to sort them out. But when there's a lot of flags on the field, you have to figure on all the different variations and scenarios with yardage, and so you got to give them time to do that, because the coaches go ballistic if they made a mistake with that. Everybody knows, coaches have a short fuse. Some of them, they're the nicest guys in the world, but I'm sure that once that game starts, they probably give their captains push-ups for not getting the right toss. Some of them, as their personality changes as the kickoff approaches. We got it here. I'm not sure. Are we ready to go? So I'm not sure what's going on. We've got two type of people charting penalties. I'm not sure what's going on. Boy, it's sure taking a long time to get this sorted out. Not sure if anybody's been ejected. I haven't seen anybody. Okay, here we're ready to go. Head referee Kevin McWilliam will give us the hand signals. Okay, so we got a legal block by the Broncos. Got a rough play penalty, 25 yards. And usually a rough play penalty is an ejection, so I'm not sure what's going on. And then I had objectionable conduct against the Raiders, or against the Broncos. So whoever made it, I'm not sure if somebody's been ejected. Yeah, it looks like number 29, Jeremy Chang's been ejected from the game for rough play. And that was probably on that hit, obviously. I thought that was Matt Hill. My apologies to Matt. I thought it was Tyler Hill, sorry. That's where I have trouble with those numbers as they get higher up. But Jeremy is the one that took the penalty there. So he is now ejected from the game, and under BCFC rules, he's got to leave the field. He's allowed to re-enter and become a spectator. He becomes the responsibility of the team, but that play will be looked at by the BCFC Rules and Discipline Committee, and if it warrants further disciplinary action, that'll come down this week. Sometimes plays like that, you're a little frustrated and you do something silly, and it could cost you another game, especially with a big one next week with Okanagan Sun coming into Caledonia Park to play the Raiders. Anyhow, we got a minute 1 to go, and after they gave up the single point, and the difference in the penalties, instead of scrimmaging from the 30, their own 35, they're at their own 50. 25 yards for rough play minus the objectionable conduct of 10. There, but the Raiders kept the single, which gives them the lead, 15-14. Little bobble handoff. And I think that was Doyle Westland got in the backfield there to tackle him for a loss. Yeah, that was number 38, the ball carrier, Connor Brown. Had an opportunity, but bobble handoff doesn't allow you to get you going until you put your eyes on the ball, and by that time the defense converges. Again, another balanced formation for the Cowboys. A 2nd down and 13. That was a nice pass. That was great coverage by number 38, Nathan Coyote. It was on number 11, Evan Guizu. Almost intercepted. So with 32.7 seconds to go here in the second quarter, the Raiders still have an opportunity to possibly add to their 1-point lead. Jared Braun deep again. Landon Monk punting. So this is where you really want a good snap. You don't want to turn the ball over here with a high snap or a ball into the ground. So they got this good snap. Good punt out of bounds. Nice directional punt. Looks like the ball went out at about the 35-yard line. So the Raiders will have 26 seconds to see if they can add to their 1-point lead before halftime. Yeah, it's too bad that Jeremy Chang got booted out. But that's one of those things. If you don't take control, the game can sort of disintegrate into just a lot of pushing and shoving and yapping. Even though you coach to prevent all that, the emotions do get going, especially in close quarters when players start to yap at each other. The Raiders running a spread offense, trying to go deep. Jared Braun right down the middle. Nice catch. Right over Caden Cook's head. Beautiful catch. McGarvey to Braun. And that play covered 60, 65, 70, 75, about 74 yards, 76 yards for the scoring play. It's a very, very nice pass. Just took his time, did it as he needed to see it. There's Hunchak in for the convert, which is good. They got 16 seconds left till halftime, and the Raiders increased their lead to 22-14. Yeah, for Jared, that's, let's see here, I think that was his first catch of this game. But it's also going to be his, you can find this in here somewhere. Yeah, it's his 5th catch. And his third touchdown, or it's 3rd touchdown of the year. Yeah, so that puts him over 100 yards on the season so far. So go Nick Hunchak's teeing it up at his 45. Got Kuda deep along with number 88, I see Ian Finstad, who's got the football at his 20, 25, 30. That was a good return. Not a bad return, bringing out to the 40-yard line with 8 seconds left. I'm not sure who the last Raider is getting up off the ground, but that's who made the tackle. It looks like number 36, Parker Hammond. So I would suspect that the Cowboys will kneel down here, get into the change room, get into someplace cool, replenish the fluids, talk about how good they did this first half. Yeah, Nika under the center. I'm sure he's just going to kneel down, get 2 plays in. Clock stops on this one. We just stand around, watch it. And the referee will blow it in real quick here. One more snap. Rolls down, kneel down. We're into the half. And then we're at halftime. So as the teams head to the change rooms here in Caledonia Park, we've got a score of 22-14 in favor of the Vancouver Island Raiders in their home opener. Not a bad first half. You know, again, I think it caught some people off guard as far as how close it is at this point and how close it can be. But, you know, they'll come out, Raiders will come out a little more determined. Kamloops, I'm sure, is going in with a tremendous amount of confidence, you know, as they're rebuilding their program, coming to Caledonia and stick with these guys. They made some good plays, so to make for an interesting second half. So again, that's score at halftime. Vancouver Island Raiders 22, Kamloops Broncos 14. Thank you for tuning in to BCFC TV, brought to you by the BC Lions. We'll see you the second half to come.
Todd. Andre, Nick, what are you doing? Oh. Hey, Paul.
Remember, we're back here in Houston.
Like I said, make sure you talk to me. That's theirs. Yeah, yeah.
All right, now, we ask you not to keep the guy in the back of the truck. Just try to get him over there. That's the person on the phone or a water gun. Then feel free to take those guys to the back of the truck.
Wait, what's with that? I didn't try that. I mean, actually had it. Yeah, I was going to say. When was the last time you umpired?
What? He's not doing anything. I can ask him for it.
Right? That's where he came from.
But I had stuff, but I know yards. So
Well, they got rid of it last year. That's why I heard.
Too many. Face mask. Run back.
Maybe spring. No.
Remember that one? Well, push him in the back. We're on the outside there. Yeah, I figured that. Because I put 10 yards beside him. 10 yards variety. So he just pushes the guy was coming out. So the rough play was pretty easy. Because the guy went to go to the knee, and I thought, as soon as he's running in the back of the zone, I'm like, yeah, this is going to be good. And I hustle to get to the back line. And I'm going, okay, this isn't good. He didn't take a knee, and I just fucking put it out of bounds. Like, just take it out of bounds. Who cares? I didn't signal a single point. When we got it that point. Probably good anyway.
But basically, it's just.
But I was more concerned at that point because then the two guys got up and started fighting, and I'm in between them.
Every coach. Better try.
Yeah, so it comes to the 20 because you're going to apply it from the 20 to penalties.
They would have gained 25 yardage instead of the point. They could have done it.
Yeah, it really didn't make much difference. They ended up marching back down the field. Yeah. That's what I said as soon as it happened. I went, it was pretty straightforward in my mind. And then Hans had a hold on me. I'm like, oh shit. And then the OC came after the fact because those guys moved around. The two guys were, as soon as he got up off that guy that hit him, somebody else came in and grabbed him. So I wanted
No matter it's not the way to that.
No, that's the penalty.
What do you think of that? Well, I guess it's like, well, they just like, I mean, he didn't let up at all. So it's really where it is. Just push him. Yeah, out of bounds, so you just in the point and that's what he didn't. That's what we got for small. Yeah, two penalties on the that's what counts. That's what I said to you guys too. Wait, that's the speedy plays that. That's what happens when you speedy play.
Well, I was worried about they give up the point.
I'm thinking as soon as the ball's
No.
the back line of the
I was thinking,
like just take it out now, and then it's just understanding this point, then end of discussion, move forward. But as soon as the guy signed in, he saw the other guy coming in.
I didn't know when the offense or
well, it was the receiving team.
3 no yards.
The whole.
Yeah. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Illegal block was on a sweep. They had it. Pushed the guy in the back. PI. You know those ones. You trip the guy up from behind. I can tell the guys it's the ICBC accident. Get the guy from behind. And then too many. Well, too many is too many. And then on the one tackle, on the run back, there's a tackle, and the guy with his face mask. I mean, that one, I mean, now they're trying to tackle him, and the hands come up, but you grab them, make face mask, and it is what it is. Yeah, so we got the first QBC scrimmage. And they feed us after. So last year when we did it for them, it was like this roast beef dinner they had. It was fucking great. Oh yeah. No. It was actually really good. And I said to the other guys, well, I'll stick around so we can eat. And I said, I'm driving all the way back to Abbotsford. Most of the guys left, and the three of us stuck around. I'm glad we did. It was roast beef, potatoes, gravy, a bit. Yeah, I don't know if that'll be the case this time too.
Well, how's it going up there, Mr. Color?
I just want to go sideways. Yeah. Probably I should be going to Jake. To do half-time stuff. That wasn't it. Yeah. But you know, if the play is coming this way, I don't want to.
Yeah, so again, I was just saying we're doing the UBC scrimmage on Monday or Tuesday. Tuesday, there's 5 of us doing that. We're doing a full-blown scrimmage on Friday with them, and 7 of us. And then the UBC season starts on the 31st of the next week, whatever the 31st is, Friday or Saturday, I think it's a Saturday. No, she's not. Not guys are available and all that. Maybe 9 or 10. I thought it was 11 or 12. We lost Tyrus. Tyrus wasn't talking about this year.
Yeah, because
Yeah, he's not again this year. Chris. Yeah, he would be. And then I think Davin's now come back from the CFL, so that seemed to the CS. Yeah, he's out for the rest of the year from CFL. I don't know. I heard they're going to put him downfield next year. So maybe that means he wasn't doing that great, so they're moving it. I have no desire. I never had any desire to do that. I did way back in the 90s, and then I just had too much other stuff going on. And you gotta kiss. You gotta kiss too many people. That's the other part of it. And I didn't get where I am in my job kissing people either, so I'm not about to do it really well.
You got that right. Have a good one, guys.
Here we go. Yeah, if you're lucky. Actually, if that's your guy and you're taking him down, you're coming downfield with him. Yeah, I mean, I don't like to keep guys around and ask him, but there's a certain point where you stay with him, you follow the guy down. Yeah, it's up to 15. That's right, you're actually right there. So what was that? I don't know. No, because I didn't really move too much, and I'm usually standing about 20. I didn't really move. Yeah, it was just sort of there, and I was starting to back up, and then it was just right there. So yeah, I know it's right there.
Welcome back to Caledonia Park here in the game between the visiting Kamloops Broncos and the Vancouver Raiders. Score 22-14 for the Raiders. Just rolling back into second half. Teams just coming back on the field. Interesting first half. It was closer than most people anticipated, I'm sure. Raiders are first on the scoreboard at the 7-minute mark of the first quarter when Mike West was on the receiving end of a pass from quarterback McGarvey, and then the convert by Hunchuk made the score 7-0. In the second quarter, Raiders scored again to make it 14-0 early in the second quarter, 14-45, when Gilbourne scored on a short little run. And then the Raiders kind of laid back a little bit and allowed the Broncos back in. A lot of penalties as well against the Raiders that allowed the Broncos to slide back into this game. They scored at 8:42 of the second quarter when the quarterback Nicholas Nika scored on a quarterback sneak, and with Landon Monk's convert made it 14-7. And then Nika scored again with 3 minutes and 42 seconds to go until halftime on another quarterback sneak, again aided by a whole bunch of penalties. And that was at 3:42 mark of the second quarter, and the convert tied the score at 7. or at 14, sorry. And then a whole bunch of stuff broke out with when the Raiders scored a single point. There was 3 penalties on the play. One of them was a rough play, which resulted in the ejection of Jeremy Chang from the game for his hit on the receiver, punt returner deep in the end zone. And that they gave the Raiders 1 point of that, so they took the lead. Kamloops got the ball back, but they couldn't do anything with it, and they punted the ball away. And then with 16 seconds to go, Cole McCarvey hooked up with Jared Braun for a touchdown pass, which covered almost 80 yards. And with Hunchuk's convert, we're at where we are right now with the Raiders up by 8 points, 22-14. Captains are on the field. Kamloops is going to receive the Got other action tonight in the BCFC. In a real good game, it should be a real dandy up in the Okanagan with the West Shore Rebels taking on the Okanagan Sun. Both teams are 2-0. If you've got a little bit more time in your hands this evening, you want to plug in, just log on to BCFC TV, and we'll take you there to watch that game. And then tomorrow afternoon, or tomorrow evening at 6:30, a team that was, I think they finished 6-4 after coming off that 31-game losing streak. To turn it around like that was phenomenal. That's why Bob Reese, head coach of Valley Huskers, was named CJFL and BCFC Coach of the Year. And the CJFL also starts this weekend. The rest of the other 2 conferences kick off today and tomorrow. Give you that on who's playing who, and those are on pay-per-view as well, and you can go to cjfl.org and find out how to make your connection for those games. And I'll give you the who's playing who after this kickoff. We got Nick Hunchuk teeing it up at the 45. Deepest Kuda and number 88, Ian Finstad. That's unfortunate. That ball was dribbled forward. It hit a Kamloops player who couldn't pick it up. And the Raiders jumped on it to take possession at about the 35. Broncos 35. Yeah, another action today, the Calgary Colts are in Edmonton to play the Huskies tonight. And tomorrow, Regina Thunder are in Edmonton to take on the Wildcats, as well as the defending 5-time Canadian Bowl champs, Saskatoon Hilltops, visit Winnipeg tomorrow for a game against the Rifle. And then the OFC, the GTA Grizzlies are in Windsor this evening. And Hamilton is in Hamilton hosts the Ottawa Sooners. And tomorrow, the London Beefeaters travel to St. Catharines for a game against the... That's a good run by... That was a good play. Nelms Horton. London's in St. Catharines for a game against the Niagara Regional Raiders. So again, if you're interested in junior football outside of British Columbia, check out cjfl.org and see if you can make a connection. So the first down play, they picked up 5 yards, a quick pass to Nelms Horton. We have 2nd and 5 ball at the Kamloops 30-yard line. This is one of those things where you're going to get the ball in the second half, and all of a sudden that changed very quickly on the fumble recovery. McGarvey, shotgun, pass situation. Down the middle for Jared Braun, 30-yard touchdown strike for his 2nd score of the day. And that makes the score 28-14 in favor of the Raiders with the convert to come. Yeah, it's a little bit demoralizing when you have such a good first half and right away you give up the ball, and then the 2 plays later there's a touchdown, and now you're going to be down by 15 points here. Good snap, ball's up, and unfortunately it was wide. There was no convert. Looked like Hunchuk just kicked it on the instep, but didn't get his hips around. So the score remains 28-14 in favor of the Raiders. 13:50 to go into third quarter. Again, thanks for tuning in to BCFC TV. Sponsored by the BC Lions. For some really good junior action, if you get a chance and you live around an area where there is junior ball, try to get out and support it. You know, go pay your $10, $12, $15, whatever it is to get in. Buy a program, support the team. Do what you can do, or you can volunteer, even better. If you have time, you want to volunteer working with these young guys. You know, we're a little stepping stone for them as they're building their lives, and we've found that junior football, well, all sports, but junior football in particular does a lot in building character in a lot of these young men. So Hunchuk tees it up. Another little short kick. This one going to Finstad. Takes it about his 25. And he cuts his way through. That's a nice little return. Number 25 on the tackle there for the Raiders. That was Jason Henderson. That was a pickup of about 15 yards. It's going to give the Broncos first 10 at, looks like about their 42. The sun's out even hotter right now. It's really warm. I'm sure by the time we get to the fourth quarter, we're going to see officials go to the knees because it is hot. So Nick at quarterback. Get Aiden Cummins in behind him. Hand off to Kuda. Murray Saras was stopped for no gain. And again, that's number 20, Tyler Hill, and making some stuff happen, along with number 58, Tristan Waters. So that brings up a second down and 10. Ball at the 42. Again in the I formation under center. Receivers balanced, two left, two right. And a little bit of a bootleg action, left-handed quarterback. Beautiful pass. That's the number 84, Garrett Krajnowski. And that picks up about 12, 13 yards for first down, just over midfield. It's another first down for the Kamloops. They've had some good plays today. Some of them they have had, you can tell there's struggles with them as far as not the execution, but just, I guess, the difference in experience or whatever. But Kuda's had a great game running the ball. And that was one of the first plays that Nika was rolled out and was able to complete that. Being left-handed, rolling to his left obviously helps. There's a nice handoff to Kuda. That's a good run. That's about a 20-yard run, 21-yard run. Plus, I'm sure that's a penalty for a late hit or a face mask on one of the Raiders. So if you add whatever to the end of this, that's going to probably move the ball to inside the 20. Inside the 25. And that's their roughness. That's a 15-yard at the end of the play. So 15-yard penalty. Looks like that's going to move the ball close to the 20-yard line. And that'll give Kamloops a fresh set of downs in scoring range now. Just outside the red zone, as they call it. Oh, look, yeah, around the 20. Again, Neek in the shotgun. He's got one receiver to his left and three to his right. Now we've got something here. That could be the chain. Oh, yeah, it looks like the chain has broken. Yeah, I just got to put it back together. That's part of the problem with some of these things that get used and have different people using them. They don't really, I don't want to say don't take care of them. It's just that they don't understand how fragile they can be at sometimes. Yeah, so good. You know, the Kamloops, like we were saying earlier, they're rebuilding the program. They've had it tough right from the start. They haven't really been able to click. You know, to find that that perfect balance of bringing kids in And with some of the high school ball in Kamloops stepping back and not putting programs out, you've got to stretch your recruiting far afield. And a lot, especially in British Columbia, a lot of the teams are all over the province in Western Canada recruiting players. And so you got to have everything, all your infrastructure in place. And they're working on that, that's for sure. This Coot again, unfortunately, runs into Doyle Westland, number 79. And a little bit of help from number 58. That was Tristan Waters. And that was a loss of a yard and a half, so this can bring up 2nd down and 12. 11:39 clock running here in the 3rd quarter. 28-14 Raiders. Passing situation. Oh, he threw it again, that little swing pass, but a little too quick. Kuda didn't get his head around, so incomplete. So they're going to be trying to field goal here. It should probably be about a 27-yard attempt. Landon Monk in. I think is that an injury? An injury down there. It's number 42, Ethan Moran. Yeah, Kamloops, they're in the midst of an 11-game losing streak. That started at the beginning of last season. And why it's only 11 is one of their games last year was canceled due to the smoke and fires up in the interior. Game couldn't be played. It was against the West Shore Rebels and ended up being a 4-point game when they came down to Victoria to play. So they're looking like about a 28-yard attempt here. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So that makes the score 28-17 in favor of the Vancouver Island Raiders.
Blake, get off the field!
Looks like the Raiders are going to take the ball to 35 rather than have a kickoff.
That's all we talked about at halftime.
So they were up 28-17. Raiders be 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
On that one run, they went outside zone. Did they motion to 3 by 2? I know, but did they motion to 3 by 2?
Well, this would be an important series. If Kamloops can stop them here, they should get the ball in pretty good field position. And I think that last little drive, even though it was helped with a couple penalties, getting points out of it is important. Again, you feel good about it, a little bit of confidence. There's Gilborn again. Nice cut. That was number 37, I think that was, that made the tackle. No, it wasn't 37. 57, Derby Kwan. Surprise, I should have known that. Makes a nice tackle, but not after a good run by Gilborn. Pick up about 7. Yeah, I think if I'm the Raiders, I'm looking at pounding the ball. Just pound the ball on the ground. That's one thing the Kamloops Broncos have had trouble with this year, is stopping the run.
When they got that big run inside?
Yeah. Say RPO there by McGarvey. Gets his 1st down. And a nice tackle by number 30. That's Josiah Griffiths, but not after 1st down run. That moves the ball to the Raiders' 49-yard line. 1st and 10. Coming up on 9 minutes and 40 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. Yeah, Jake LeBurge's not playing today, so this is a good chance for him to get some rest. Gives McGarvey some experience, full-time experience against real guys instead of your own teammates. And wide open this one here. Some break of coverage. That's by number 4, Myron Bradbrook. And that's a 56-yard touchdown toss. Or sorry, not 56, 61-yard touchdown toss. Garvey's had a couple of those this game. One to Braun, and now this one to Bradbrook. So I think that the Kamloops is probably saying, okay, where's that ferry? Convert coming up here. Convert's good. That makes it 35-17 in favor of the Raiders. Yeah, now you sort of sit back and you're going, okay, traveling team, you don't have a lot of guys, so there's not a lot of guys you can put in to make the changes, to give other guys a rest and other guys a chance. But it's where you ask your players, just dig deep, just keep going, keep your motor going at 100%. And these games like this are going to happen, and unfortunately for Kamloops, it happened last week as well, to where second half they kind of fell apart. Give up a few points. So we got Hunchuk tying it up at his own 45 at Finstad, and Kudamura Siranwa deep. 8 pounds of deep. Takuda takes that at about his 23, and he got himself a cramp or hurt his knee. Gives himself up at that point. The way he went down, it could have been a cramp. I'm not sure why a trainer's not going out to give him a hand. Now here he comes. Yeah, well, it looks like a cramp the way the official's holding him. So Kamloops is going to scrimmage. Looks like 1st and 10 at about their 15-yard line, which unfortunately for the Broncos, that's the position you didn't want to be in, especially with the Raiders just scoring that quick touchdown there. So I think at the end of the day, Kudo will be okay. He'll stretch his cramp out. And with this heat, those are the type of the injuries you do have, twist, and they feel a little worse than they are. At least it's not a joint. It looks like it could just be a hamstring. And now the score's got to the point now, too, is where you don't want to do something silly. Because the Sun are here next week in Caledonia Park, and you want all your hands on deck. You want to have another player ejected from the game for doing silly stuff or talking too much. Yeah, he's been down a couple times today, and with that, and earlier in the first quarter, he went down with, I thought it was the wind knocked out of him, but he limped off, so maybe it was a little tweaked his knee a little bit or ankle. Here he's kind of limping. I think that was just the way the official was helping him stretch it out. It looks like it's just a cramp. He's having trouble with it. Yeah. Poor guy. Had those before. Not like that, because I don't have muscles, so. Yeah, they have to help him off, yeah. Yeah, best way to do it. So it looks like they're, like I said, about their 13-yard line, looks like, from this angle now, as the shade starts to lighten up or darken up some of the white lines so we can see where they are. I'm in 1st and 10 for the Broncos. Got a new quarterback in. That's number 10, Cameron Wright. And just, you run into that deep in the defense of the Raiders. They just swarm to you. They have the same aggressiveness that they've always had on defense. Just, we're going to bring it, and we're going to bring it hard. A lot of times coaches will say, even though you're a cornerback way out there on an island, you got to get in there and touch that ball carrier. That means you're hustling. You don't have to hit them, just touch them. So we got a 2nd down and about 8, a little over 8. Wright rolled it out, and he couldn't get around that tackle. That was by number 10, Matt Hill. So that's going to put Kamloops in a loss of about 6 into a third down at about their own 10-yard line. I wouldn't be surprised to see them give up the safety here. And then they can kick off rather than give the Raiders a short field. And number 6 came in, Jericho Schmidt, as a blocker, and he said something to Landon Monk, and probably Coach Rob Ellis said, kneel it down. But if they do kick, Jared Braun again is deep. Yeah, just give up the safety, and that makes the score 37-17 in favor of the Raiders, and Raiders will get the ball back after the kickoff. We've got 7 minutes and 39 seconds to go here in the third quarter. And the Raiders can also take the ball at their own 35 rather than have a kickoff, and that looks like they've elected to do. Which might be not a bad thing. You know, you're in control. You're up by 20 points. You don't want to get anybody injured on kickoff return. A lot of running too. It's a hot day. Maybe they're just saying, set the troops down and as little running as possible, especially when it's in your own control, that you have that option. Anyhow, McGarvey's still a quarterback. 1st and 10 at the 35. Got 3 receivers to his right. Got McGarvey or Goulburn behind him. 2 receivers to his left. That's a pass at Eli Nelms Horton, who's got a couple of good blocks before being tackled by number 9, Colton Podursky. Got a flag down. But they did pick up the first down. Not sure what that penalty flag is, unless it was a legal block. I guess that's against Kamloops. I didn't get the number or didn't see the play. That moves the ball up 15 yards from the end of the run to move the ball into Broncos territory at the Broncos 48-yard line. Again, McGarvey quarterback, Goulburn behind him in the eye, if you will. Deep, 3 receivers to his left, 2 to his right. He'll hand off to Jared Braun, who came out of the jet motion. He's got a good head of steam. He's down the line before he's pushed out of bounds. Looks at it about the 20, but I think there's a flag down for a low block. You can't block below the waist anymore in junior football. That was a rule change that came in this year. Just inside the clothesline area, or they call it holding.
Get back in the huddle.
Yeah, one of the changes was it's again a safety issue. You know, we don't want anybody getting hurt unnecessarily, so you take the low blocks out, and that just makes it a little bit safer. And it's still a rough and violent game, but the more we can, and the rules people with Football Canada can, make it safer, all to them. We got to do that. These are just young guys playing a game. So that ball comes back, and basically where the flag went down was after first yard mark, as I understand. So that brings it back 10 yards, and it'll be a first down. Yeah, yards were gained, so the penalty from where the foul occurred brings it back 10, but they got the first down, so that they're going to have the ball at the 43-yard line of the Broncos. 6:59 to go here, third quarter. It's been a slow game because of all the penalties. That's another thing that everybody is trying to speed up. Is the length of the games. We want to lose customers because of that. There's a deep pass right down the middle. It was incomplete. That was intended for number 82, Jamal Bacchus. Good pass, just a little bit too far. Caden Cook was in coverage, but he was in too much of a chase. I think he was he bid on it a bit, I think, as far as his coverage didn't get deep enough in the first couple steps. So that brings up second down. 44, 43-yard line. And this time, Garvey puts 3 receivers to his right, 2 to his left. Goulburn behind him. There's a little hook to Mike West. They've had success with that. He breaks the tackle of Caden Cook. Goes down the sideline and scores. At the very nonchalant help coming from the Broncos. I think they thought the knee went down, but from my vantage point, he didn't get his knee down. So that was Mike West on a play they've run a few times today, and once was through his hands, another one was behind him, and then a couple of them were complete, but they didn't have the end result like that one did. So we got the convert coming up. So for Mike West, that's his 4th touchdown this year. The convert is good. No flags down. So that makes the score 44-17 in favor of the Raiders. 6:17 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Yeah, so like I said earlier, the game tonight between Okanagan and West Shore Rebels should be a good one. Okanagan being 2-0, they defeated the Kamloops Broncos. I think it was 26-3 in the opening game, and Rebels came back and defeated the Valley Huskers in game 1. I believe the score was 32-30. Could be wrong, but like score like that. And then last week, Rebels came back and scored, I think it was 20 unanswered points against the Raiders in the 4th quarter to take that one. And Okanagan came back and defeated I think they did come back, but they won in Chilliwack 21-16. So it should be a good one tonight. So if you get that chance to tune on in, do that. There's another short little kick. Tuda couldn't get his hand on it. Unfortunately, he had to jump on that ball, and they're going to be starting again at their 20-yard line. But we have a flag down. Got a penalty flag down. The umpire threw that one. Not sure what that was, unless it was a low block. But in any case, if it's against the Broncos, the ball is going to be well inside the 20-yard line. Because right now, looks like they're sitting at about their own, where the ball is about the 22. Again, horrible starting position. Yeah, low block against Kamloops. So that's going to move the ball back 10 yards, and they're going to be starting probably around their 13-yard line. Yeah, it's one of those things. The last 2 times the Raiders have scored, they've increased the length of the field. The Broncos have to conquer to try to get, I don't want to say back in this game, but to score points. Yeah, I think these are longer explanations because the officials also have to have a drink of water. So, and we got a little bit of an injury down there too. I think that was, not sure who was on that. He got hit. That's Scott Pelzer. I think it's Scott. Yeah, he got hit, ran into Kuda, and he got the worst of that deal. That's going to move the ball back, and it's going to give Kamloops a 1st and 10. Not sure where the umpire is walking with the ball. Looks at about the 10-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10. Long field for these guys. 6:17 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Yeah, coming into this game, the Broncos are from a standpoint of yardage, the least penalized team in the league, but I think they might have climbed back into the pack. They had 36 penalties for 218 yards. Just another run up the middle by Kuda. Looked like a pickup of about 3, 2, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, the team that leads in penalties is the Rebels. They're like that. That's the way that's their style of play. They've got 47 penalties for 424 yards, and they're up the top of the penalty category every year. The Raiders have 24 for 204, so a little more disciplined, but some of their penalties are a little more devastating. They're not the nickel and dime ones or the 15-yarders, which I've had a few today. There's Nika back in the quarterback. And Javon McNally Hardesty tipped that ball away, and that brings up a third down, and the Raiders are going to get the football back in very good position here. .5:22 to go. Okay, everybody's in the let's get this game over mode. A lot of walking going on. So Jared Braun again will be deep for the home side with Landon Monk. Again, he might give up another safety here, which wouldn't surprise me. He's stepping into the end zone. Yeah, the way the guys, everybody's kind of just in the walking mode right now, just kind of going through the motions. I think he's going to give up the 2. Yeah, another safety awarded to the Raiders. That's going to make the score 46-17. And again, now the challenge for the Broncos is to make sure when they don't allow the Raiders a chance to score here. Get the ball back so you can do something with it. And the Raiders, again, have elected to take the ball on their own 35-yard line, which, again, is a good move. So 4:59, a safety was scored. That makes the score 46-17. Raiders elect to take the ball at the 35, 1st and 10. McGarvey still in a quarterback. And for the first time today, I think this is once or twice anyway, he's under center. Closer you get the goal line, you go under center, but he's under center. And Goulburn, who's had a good day running the football, he's probably well over 100 yards. Picks up, looks like about 4. No flags on the play. Clock's rolling. 2nd down and give him 6. A little more than 6. You're at that point of the game where you get an opportunity now to change some guys out. Give guys rest, guys that got little nicks and bruises. Let them sit on both sides. So I guess 2nd and 6. McGarvey in the shotgun. And they've had, there's an interception by Caden Cook, trying to find a hole. Eli Lenoms Hortons makes the tackle. Yeah, Braun went down. It was going to Jeremy Braun. And he's down, still down on the field. I don't know if he tripped. I don't know if he locked his foot, but the ball was overthrown as he went down, obviously. But the way he went down, it looked like he might have hurt a knee or an ankle. And the way he's on the field right now, it's probably a knee. So a little break for Kamloops. Caden Cook getting an interception, and that I'll look up his stats here because he was, I don't think he had an interception last week, but he's the leading point getter in the BCFC defensively. He's got 36 points coming into this game, and that's his 2nd interception this year. Yeah, so maybe I'm not sure what happened to Jeremy. Is that Jeremy? Yes, it is. No, not Jeremy. Sorry, Jared. Looks like he's got a little bit of a limp, so it might have just been a hyperextension, maybe. In any event, Kamloops has the football on their own side of center at their own 52, 1st and 10. Number 10, Cameron Wright, is back in a quarterback for this series. Not sure if Nicholas Nika was injured or just quarterback change time. There's a bit of a rollout bootleg action. It's out of bound. Didn't pick up much. Maybe picked up, looks like he picked up about 4 yards. But he go over center field, so it's a positive play for the Broncos. That's going to bring up 2nd and 6. And balance set by the Broncos. And right quarterback. Kuda to his left. And Connor Brown to his right. Pass. Javon McNally Hattersty gets that interception. He's still going before he's pushed out of bounds. I got a flag down. I think I got 2 flags down, 3 flags down. So end of the play, a little bit of pushing and shoving. That's Javon's 2nd interception this year. He just made the nice play earlier on the tip. Yeah, we could have a lot of laundry on that play hit the field. That was a good return. He returned it about, it looks like 25, 30 yards. Not sure who's down there, number 73 from the Raiders. He's injured. That's, I think it's 73 or 79. I guess that's Doyle Westland. So they had 2 unnecessary roughness penalties on either side. So that's going to put the ball at midfield, 1st and 10 for the Raiders. So 3 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. The game has slowed right down. Get the stick set, whistles blows it in, finally. Garvey handoff to Goulburn. Yeah, nice play by number 17. That was Abe Fimbo with a nice tackle. Limit the gain to just about a yard, a little less than a yard. Yeah, there's good plays being made all around. It's just that putting it all together. So everybody, all 12 people are doing the same thing and doing the job they've got to do on each and every play. And the other side is trying to take advantage of the mistake that you do make. He's got 3 receivers to his left, McGarvey in a shotgun. There's a little swing pass to Nels Horton. This kid's fast, he's shifty. And another pickup of about 15 yards for 1st down. Tackle by number 18, Quentin Kokas. That's another 1st down for the Raiders. The ball at the Broncos 37-yard line. Minute 43 here to go. In the 3rd quarter here at BCFC TV. McGarvey in the shotgun. He's got 3 receivers to his right, 2 to his left. Goulburn steps to his right. Little draw, big hole, and guess who? Darby Kwan. He's all over the field today, that kid. He's a player. think everybody should keep an eye on him for sure. He can play, he can move, his feet are pretty quick. So he limited that gain to 1 yard. Brings up second down, clock rolling up to a minute left in the third quarter. Ball at the 35-yard line. Yeah, I think they're going to probably milk McGarvey as long as they can. Because if LeBurge cannot go next week, then McGarvey's got the task against the Sun. Pass out to Mike West. This time they're making sure he will not break the tackle and score. That was Caden Cook who got his hands wrapped around him. And looks like he's still down a little bit. Now he's getting up on his own power. He's back on the field. But Mike picked up the first down. Yeah, that's a bit of good play for them this afternoon. A few of them they missed, but the ones that they've had picked up first downs and one scored. So good day for Mike West. So they got Raiders 1st and 10. Looks like the ball's about the Broncos 25-yard line. Again, McGarvey in a shotgun. He's got 3 receivers to his right, 2 to his left. Goulburn steps to his left. There's a run up the middle, and Goulburn just, again, number 57 is usually around that pile, and he was this time. And I think the heat's starting to get after these guys a little bit. But anyhow, that's the end of the third quarter with your score, Vancouver Island Raiders 46, the Kamloops Broncos 17. Thank you for tuning in to BCFC TV, powered by and brought to you by the BC Lions, who we hope get out of their funk soon. So teams will change ends. Raiders have the football, I think it was around the 18-yard line. And I think the Raiders are saying, let's wrap this up, do it quick. And the Kamloops are thinking, boy, we got that long trek home. But they get a chance to sit down in the buffet on the BC ferries and kind of contemplate the game and let your body unwind a little bit before you get back in the bus seat and put your head back and wake up 3 hours later home. So the ball is at the 25. I apologize. I thought it was inside the 20. Raiders 1st and 10. McGarvey still a quarterback. I thought Coach Visa would change, but you got to need him for next week possibly, so get him all as many reps as you can. Has 3 receivers to his right, 2 to his left. Full protection in the backfield, thrown down the middle, Mike West. That was a good play by Caden Cook to get a hand in there to bat that ball away. So that's going to bring up a 3rd down. This time you might see Hunchuk coming in to try the field goal. Talking about Curtis Visa, he played for the Raiders back in the day when they were having their success. He was an all BC. He was all Canadian offensive lineman, a good one. And he was one of the first players to come through the Raiders scholarship program, and it shows you the benefits. He's a school teacher, and now he's back, helping the guys the young men that want to come and play football in Nanaimo. And same with Rob, Coach Rob Ellis, former coach back in 2009, 2010. He coached with the Broncos, and then before that in the 90s he was coaching with the Abbotsford Air Force when they had good teams. He played for the Richmond Raiders, so he's got a long, extensive background in junior football. So these role models, these guys, they understand it, and they do nothing but help these kids as they maneuver through life. So this is going to be about a 32, 33-yard field goal attempt by Nick Hunchuk. I think we're ready to go here. Whistled in. Good snap. Kick to his left. Kuda in the deep in the end zone. Trying to get it out. Get it out to the 20 if you get it out. Yeah, good return. He got it out. Looks like about the 5 or 6 yard line. So they'll take the ball at the the 20. Score still remains 46-17 in favor of the Vancouver Island Raiders with 4:17 to go here in the fourth quarter. So it looks like Nicholas Nika's back in a quarterback for the Broncos. I think they're going to try to flip guys around, maybe give them a couple series each. Just give each other a rest. Get as much experience as you can. That's the whole key to having a young team is real live game action against other teams is so invaluable. It's the only way you learn. Again, a balanced set. Kuda on that little swing. Yeah, that was kind of a little spectacular tackle. Andre Gordon coming up on that one, making the hit. If you see on the replay here, yeah, Kuda's, as he takes the ball, he doesn't even see Gordon coming. Oh, we lost our froze a little bit, but here you can see it again. He gets his head around, and Gordon's right there for the 4-yard loss. That's the only thing about a play like that is it develops in the backfield and allows the defenders who read it quick enough to make a play. You're hoping that who's on the receiving end makes a football play and is able to make somebody miss. Oh, that was a very nice catch by number 3, Matt White. That's close to a first down. That was a great catch by Matt. Yeah, first down play. That gives the Kamloops 1st and 10. They'll be at about their own 30-yard line, 31-yard line. 12:50, clock running. Here, 4th quarter, Caledonia Park in Nanaimo. Again, a balanced set. 2-2-2, and that makes it kind of easy. There's a handoff to Kudo. He made a nice cut. Couple guys miss. Great play. That was a fantastic play. And catching him from behind was number 20, Tyler Hill. But that was a really good play. That's where he picks up the first down run. He made some guys miss. You can see on the replay here, 2 or 3 guys got their hands on him. He just flashed them all away, just like he was running like he was a running back supposed to do. Keep your feet moving, get your shoulders north and south, and make your own yardage as need be. Good play. He's had a good game. He could be possibly inching up on the 100-yard game himself. He's had some good runs. So 1st and 10, Nika's still a quarterback. Flip around to Evan Guizo. Nice play, make a couple guys miss before he gets tackled at the end of the play by number 31 from the Raiders, Cody Harper, but not after first down yardage. Good on the Kamloops, getting something positive going here. So they're 1st and 10 at midfield. No quarterback change. Is brought number 7 in, Ethan Longney. Again, a balanced set. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right, 2 in the backfield. An offside penalty against the Raiders. The cornerback jumped up. Now, I'm not sure if they called that or they're saying it was out of bounds. On the pass, it was close. I think if Nika had thrown it a little bit earlier, they would have had that. But they're going to get a fresh first down on the offside against the Raiders, and that'll bring up 1st and 5. Yeah, it wasn't a bad play. That set up pretty good. He had him open a little earlier than he thought, I guess, and he just didn't have his feet set to throw the ball. So that'll move the ball up 5 yards to roughly the Raiders' 50-yard line. 1st and 5. Ten minutes, 55 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Clock rolling, 46-17. Nika under center. Keep it on the boot here by himself. A little bit too much pepper on that ball. I think he was trying to throw it to number 80, Ryan Zamudo, sorry. I think he had a little bit too much pepper. And left-handed quarterback running to your right, you got to sort of get your hips around a little bit, and he didn't have that. And you could put a little bit more accuracy on the ball. So 2nd and 5, ball to 50. Nika, a clean snap. Got a whistle down. Probably coming from the umpires, probably legal procedure, which is what he signaled. So that'll move it back 5 and bring up 2nd and 10. Yeah, sometimes when you're building, and you got to get everybody on the same page. You got everybody understand exactly what you want to do, and it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back, and to some they think that's a cha-cha-cha, but to others it's a little frustrating. So it's one of those things that you're going to be building with a young team, and it is only game 3. Real live game action is what determines how you want to play and build your offense defenses. You have the plan coming in, but things change and things will be adjusted and massaged as you move forward. Make it more comfortable for the players. Take advantage of other things you see or what you have limited by the players. All right, 2nd and 20. Nika drops back. Another pass rolling to his left, a little bit high. That was intended for number 7, Ethan Longney. That brings up a 3rd down. Landon Monk will come on to punt the ball here. I would suspect it'll be Marin Bradbrook that'll be deep. Number 4 for the Raiders, which Jared Broad came off on with some sort of little injury to the leg. Can't risk him.
Gage, did someone sub you out? I was asking, are we keeping specials the same?
So we've got
I don't know. I'm here. Nobody subbed you out. Don't come off the field, right?
Monk standing, be kicking the ball. He's standing at his 42-yard line. Bradbrook way deep. Looks like it's close to his 10. I don't think I've seen Monk hit one like that this game. So that ball drops about the 20. Bradbrook takes it. There's no flags penalty, but Kamloops has come up with it, but I think they're going to call a no flag, or no yard, sorry. So that'll move it up, probably just the 5 yards since the ball hit the ground, and Raiders will maintain possession. So I'm assuming that's what the penalty is. I don't want to say that's what it is. There's Kevin McWilliam, head official, make the call. No yards, it's Kamloops. Maybe, 5-yard penalty, so they're going to, looks like, take possession up and around their 20-yard line, maybe 21. 9:13 to go here in the 4th quarter. Garvey still in the quarterback and coming up with 4 receivers to his right. 1 Nelms Horton to his left. Goulburn in the backfield, sorry. Little draw again. They've had success with that play today. Number 25, A.J. Mayer makes the tackle. Goulburn picks up, looks like about 3 yards, 2.5. Bring up 2nd and long 7. 8:45 to go, 4th quarter. Raiders enjoying a 46-17 lead. Same formation, but they flipped it. Going to the left now, 4 receivers to the left. Nelms Horton here, one-on-one with the lower part of the screen with Caden Cook. Mike West top of the screen. There's that little screen pass again. Out the outside. But this time, other than breaking tackles, Kamloops did a good job. Did a great job. That was number 23 that finally made the tackle, Austin Kimbrell. That brings up the 3rd down. 3rd down, 3rd and 5, so it wasn't as big a play. He went backwards quite a ways, but Kamloops finally said, no, this ain't happening on this play. We're sick and tired of seeing that play. And it's tough, like when you're out there, the corner covering those guys. You know, it's like you're on an island. Everybody can see you, but nobody can come and help you at the beginning. So it's one of those things that you got to make the play so the troops get there to help, cut down any of the escape lanes and make the tackle, which was exactly what they did there. So good, Nick Hunchuk back to kick, Kuda deep. Not sure what's going on, waiting for a couple guys from the Raiders to be called for too long in the huddle here. They're deep officials definitely going to throw the flag and say, move back 5 yards, sir. There, throws the flag. Is again one of those unnecessary penalties that unfortunately slows the game down. But, you know, again, that's all on the players, it's on the coaches to say, come on, let's get this organized. And it's going to happen. Those things are going to happen during the game. But in these first couple of weeks where we've had a lot of penalties, anything that can help to speed the game up, shorten them up, you know, helps immensely. So anyhow, Hunchuk back. He's back 5 more. He'll be kicking from about his 23-yard line. Again, Kuda deep, his feet at his own 40. Good snap. Oh, nice kick. That one had a stewardess on it. That's good. Nice run. Just nowhere to go. Oh, he makes some guys miss. He's got that little spin. Now he's got the sideline. If he sticks to the sideline, he's got a way to. But no. Yeah, they lost leverage here before Eli Nelms-Horton made the tackle. He's had about 3 or 4 special team tackles today. But that was a great return by Kuda. Thought he was trapped there for a second. He made the spin move, similar to what he's been doing when he's carrying the football. I think you might have to call a timeout just to give him a rest. He's had a great day running the ball, carrying the ball and receiving the ball. So Kamloops takes over after the punt at their own 49-yard line. 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter in the game. Again, thank you for tuning in to BCFC TV, sponsored by BC Lions, for this game this afternoon out of Caledonia Park. Home opener for the VI Raiders. There's Kuda again. Just make things happen with his feet. This guy, ooh, that was a nice play. Those can hurt you, though. A flag down here. I'm not sure what that was. Looks like Andre Gordon, number 11, and doing something to Ryan Zamzudo on number 80. That was a loss on the play of 4 yards. You see him stepping over on the replay there. And you can make that happen. There's nobody else around. It works. But when there's other guys around and your legs in the air like that, you can. A lot of guys have been hurt that way. You don't want to tear a knee up. But we have a rough play against the Raiders, which nullifies that play and moves them up 15 yards. And that'll give them a first. Kamloops a first down, probably around the Raiders' 45-yard line. So it looks like number 10, Cameron Wright, is in a quarterback now for the Raiders, or for Kamloops, sorry. Yeah, again, a balance set for the Broncos.
Let's go, baby, pass, pass.
Yeah, just run, Cameron.
Get him. Hey, let's go.
Yeah, he was slowing down a little bit there, and they allowed number 42, Ethan Moran, to catch him from behind. Luckily, he had a good hold on the ball, because the way Ethan came over the top, he could have slapped that out. It would have been a fumble. But he picked up a yard, a lot of running for a yard. Bringing up second down and 9. 5 minutes, 55 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. Ball at the Raiders, about 44-yard line. Right back to pass, throws a little screen pass, and they throw it right into the hands of, I'm sure that was, it's number 14. That's Nels Haney. Got his hands on that. Yeah, one of those things, you try to set it up and they're going to make it go. You're on the replay here, you can see it. Try to place the ball, but Raiders had a good rush on it. And he got his hands up, and you do what you tell him. Get your hands up, get your hands up. And he put it right into his hands. Didn't see who got him there. I think it was Kuda made the tackle coming back on him. With 5 minutes and 25 seconds to go, Raiders grab another opportunity here on a turnover, and they're 1st and 10 at the Broncos' 51-yard line. Garvey still a quarterback. 3 receivers to his right, 2 to his left. That's a handoff to a new running back. That's number 25, Jason Henderson. Looks like a good pickup of around 7 yards. Good start for his first carry today. Jamal Backus comes in, relieves Taylor Becker. 4 minutes and 30 seconds, clock rolling. 2nd and long 3 coming up for the Raiders.
Did you read the screen or did you just get caught? The screen, good for you, buddy.
3 receivers to McGarvey's right, 2 to his left. Another handoff to Henderson. Yeah, Coach Visa calls for a punt. The ball at about the Broncos' 42-yard line. You see Hunchuk try to point this ball to the sideline, I would think, to pin them deep. And Kuda deep for the Broncos, along with number 23, Austin Crimbrill. No, he's not going deep. He's just going in to play linebacker. One of the shallow guys. Good snap. Oh, another long punt. Oh, my gosh. That's going through the end zone for a point. With his foot to him, Nick can pound that ball. And like I was coming into this game, he was up around, I got the stats right here, I can tell you. He was up around the 42-yard mark for the season, and I think he's probably staying there with the type of kicks he's had tonight. Yeah, he's 42.4 gross average, so he's doing very well. And like I said earlier, you can get anybody that can kick near 40 or over 40. You've got a weapon there, and that changes the field, changes everything and how you play special teams. So at the single point, that's going to make the score 47-17 with 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go. And Kamloops will take over on their own 35-yard line, 1st and 10. Again, Nicholas Nika back in a quarterback under the center. And a little confusion in the backfield, and he's going to get a little. That was a little bit too much, I think, from Nicholas Robinson, just throwing him down. He already had him. Didn't need to turf him down on the ground like that. So that's going to be a roughing penalty. So that's going to move the ball up 15 yards, be automatic 1st down. Looked like Nick got a little nicked on that one. I like all football players are saying, I ain't coming out. I ain't, no. I'm going to tough this one out, coach. So anyhow, after the penalty, with 3 minutes and 3 seconds to go here till the 3-minute warning, or 3 seconds to go on the 3-minute warning, Kamloops takes the ball at their own 45-yard line, 1st and 10. Nick is still a quarterback. I'm not sure what's going here. Somebody's confused over something. Well, I guess he only marked off 10 yards when it should have been 15 for the unnecessary roughness. So that moves the ball to the Broncos, Kamloops 50-yard line, 1st and 10. Good chance. Kamloops keep the ball here. Go down and score. Do something positive. Makes for a friendly bus ride home, as well as it, shows they were making progress. Yeah, just a mix-up on who's who, where they're supposed to be on that play. That was incomplete. 2:49. We're at the 3-minute warning. Raiders up 47-17. So all the officials, other than 2 of them, are from the mainland, so they've got to make the trip home. 2 of them are from Victoria. And like I said earlier, one of them is from the United States who does NCAA ball, which is kind of cool. Up here to sort of swap and get an experience doing some Canadian junior ball. That's great.
Here we go, boys.
So we've got 2nd and 10 at the Kamloops 50-yard line. I'm not sure why the whistle was in there because it was an incomplete pass the play before. There's Nika on the run. There he goes. He's got a first down. That's a good run. Attaboy, give yourself up. Got the first down. No sense taking an unnecessary hit this late in the game. And that moves the ball to roughly the 45-yard line where he started his slide. Clock running, 2:35 to go here in the game. Yeah, in the shotgun now for Nika. 3 receivers to his left. And then that swing pass to Kuda. And again, looks like picked up about 4 yards. That's been successful all day. He was brought down again by number 42, Ethan Moran. Hey, I think they know each other quite well after this game. Same with Tyler Hill. I think he's had a few. Kuda and him have had a few meetings along the way. We're rolling in 2 minutes left. In Kamloops in a balanced set, which they've been in most of the game. I think he just touches his head. He's saying, go deep. I'm coming to you. That's what he's doing. Now there's pass interference. I think that was number 20. Boy, again, those numbers are tough. Whoever was on the corner out here, 26, I believe it was. Nathan Winning got a hand on receiver's back. That was Jared Kranoski. Gave him a little tug. So that'll give the Kamloops a first down. Ball moved up 15 yards. Minute 46 to go here. Yeah, so that's going to move the ball to roughly about the 29-yard line. Great field position here for Kamloops to finish this game out and get in the end zone. And the Raiders, they've made a few changes defensively, giving some guys a rest. Again, balance set. Nika in the shotgun. Nice pass. Nice tackle by Andre Gordon. That pass was to number 80, Ryan Zamudo. For a short gain, but a successful play. 1:39 to go. Clock will start. That's more than a short gain. That was a good 6-yard pass. Got a minute 39 here in the quarter. The clock rolling here. 2nd down. Well, they moved it up a bit, so look at 2nd down and a long 3. Get the first down. Oh, that was a nice play. I would just say Kuda and 84. That was Jared Kranoski. Didn't run into each other, but got in each other's way, and Nika didn't have a chance to complete the pass cleanly. But not a badly designed play. It would have been a first down for sure. Got a minute 20 to go. Going for it on 3rd down here, obviously. Want to score the touchdown rather than take the 3 points. Balance set. He drops this out to number 7. Should get his first down. Ethan Longney. Got the first down, moved the ball. It looks like they're inside the 15. Again, difficult to see. Yeah, it looks like at about the 12 and a half. You're so used to looking at turf fields, being this as a grass field, that the sun washes out the yard lines, and but on a turf field, you know, they're imprinted and painted on real strong, so you can see them basically in any type of weather. So I'm guessing, but I'm looking here, that's about the 12. We'll give them the 12. Minute 10 to go. There's a nice interception, over the shoulder interception by number 11, Andre Gordon. I don't think there was a flag down. So it's interception throw. And that was not a bad pass. It was going to number 7, Ethan Longney. But it was just the receiver who caught it. You can see in the replay, he overthrew him a little bit, but the only guy in position to catch that was Andre Gordon, and he made a nice over-the-shoulder catch for the interception, and that move puts the ball at the 25-yard line, and I would suspect that the Raiders will just keep the ball on the ground and run this clock out and then prepare for next week. I think Coach Ellis, the Broncos, has got to be pleased with how his guys performed today. They had a really good first half, and so far this year, the second half has been their bugaboo. But those are the things they'll be working on, and experience helps with that a lot. Young kids get more experience, the better it is. Here they're going downfield. That's a pass to. Didn't get that number. I'm sorry, I can't see that number at all. It might have been to number 18, 14, 11. Don't know. Sorry. So the clock running, 50 seconds to go in the game. Another completion from McGarvey and a first down. Ball at the 43-yard line. Raiders 43. Jason Henderson up the middle. He ran into a few guys and looks like getting up from the bottom of that pile. I think he's wearing number 57. Boy, I think that was number 91. Apologize, Hayden Taylor. Looks like a couple plays left here in the game. 2nd and 9, long 8. In a passing situation. He's got Mike West all alone. He just overthrew him. That was a touchdown if it was on target, but you don't need that touchdown with 12 seconds to go. You're already up 47-17. But the game is 60 minutes long, and you play for 60 minutes. So it's 3rd down. I would suspect that the Raiders will, I don't say take a knee, they just might run around a bit and then see what they can do with it. Just run as much time off the clock before you get it. And there, Coach Visa just getting his first win as a head coach, dunking of the Gatorade. I'm sure that feels pretty good because it is very warm. There's a pass to Mike West. And again, the Kamloops was on top of that, number 15. Jack Belfontaine was right there saying, you've done this enough to us, not now. We'll take the ball in the exchange with 5.9 seconds to go. I would suspect you see Nicholas Nikas kneel down here and teams will line up and get their handshake in. So the Raiders moved to 1 win, 2 losses. And they got an important game next week. It puts them back in the bunch a bit. We're going to find out tonight between the Rebels and the Sun, who the loser that one's going to be, so it pushes them a little bit closer to that loser. The loser of that game, I should say that loser, but the loser of that game. And tomorrow's game between Langley and Valley, obviously the Raiders want the Valley to be beaten. Keeps them out, would be behind them. It's important for Kamloops. Again, that they're building this team. They've got right from the foundation up, they're redoing it. And it's going to take some time to get things going, but what I've seen today, they're on the right track. Oh, Andre Gordon, that's his 2nd interception. Just right. Oh, he flipped that before saying he's down. Yeah, they're saying, I guess, before he got it out, he was on his backside. But that's Gordon's 2nd interception in the game. And that's the ball game, ladies and gentlemen. Final score, the Raiders 47, Kamloops Broncos 17. Like I said, an interesting game. First half was back and forth. It was one of those games coming into it. Like, what's this going to be? Is this going to be a 99-0 score, or is what's going to happen here? The way the Raiders were playing, opened the season, they were kind of leaving it on the field. That type of feeling the coaches had that they weren't finishing. And talking to Coach Ellis, they're happy where they are, how they're progressing. And a game like this has just got to be kudos to them, and I think they got to be very happy on their first half anyway. Second half, there's some turnovers and different things, but that's going to happen to teams that are rebuilding. So at the onset tonight, there's going to be the Raiders will be 1-2. Kamloops is 0-3. We're going to find out who's going to be 3-1. Or sorry, 2-1, 3-0. And tomorrow we're going to find out if there's going to be another 0-3 team and an undefeated team in 3-0, or a 2-1 and a 1-2. So again, our final score here: Caledonia Park in Nanaimo, Vancouver Island Raiders 47, Kamloops Broncos 17. And on behalf of the BCFC Football League, as well as BCFC TV, my name is Paul Short, and I want to thank the BC Lions for the continued support of junior football and these broadcasts. Good night.